Mics are potted up?
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks for checking.
Just making sure.
Welcome to the show, live again from Los Angeles for one more day.
And we are actually live now. Yesterday's show we taped the night before. It was really fun to tape.
Yeah.
With Margaret Cho and Brad Williams and his fiance and Ricky Velez.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the story about Brad Williams' fiance?
Yeah. She told it.
Oh, about
How they met?
Oh, no.
Yeah, which story? Bert Kreischer has joined us to start the show.
My favorite Brad Williams' fiance story is he apparently they're swingers.
Yes.
And they're very public about it.
Yeah.
At the end of one night, Brad's standing there with his wife doing a meet and greet, and some fan just comes up and goes, "Hey man, can I fuck your wife?"
Because that's how it works, right? You just pass them out to fans. Like, hey
man, I can fuck her, right?
Anybody here want to fuck my wife?
That's very funny. Does Brad talk about it in his act, or did the guy just know?
No.
Oh, that's great.
He just said it to me in passing, and I just found it so fascinating. Someone would go, "Hey man, you mind if I fuck?" It's like the same as people wanting to do a shot with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I fuck your wife?
Right. Yeah, it's his thing now.
Yeah, she's really sexy too, and she's very
is.
and they were funny together. Like they were good talking about how they met. It was interesting.
Yeah.
They're a good couple.
Yeah, he said it was the first time she's
On the radio.
done stuff. Like he's talked about her, but they've never actually done like a show together.
It'd be so funny now if all of a sudden she got a syndicated radio deal and she dumped Brad.
Yeah.
She's a big radio career and Brad's away too much.
Oh my God. So it's early here in LA. It's 5 o'clock, obviously.
I love it.
Yeah. Are you still up, or did you just wake up?
No, I got a new sleeping pill, so I was testing it out last night. I love when a doctor prescribes you something that's possibly fun, and they're like, "You should try this out like on a night that you don't have anything to do." And you're like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah!"
So you did. So
What time did you go to bed?
yeah.
11:45.
Oh.
Wait, but you tried out a sleeping pill 4 hours before you had to get up?
Boy, no, I made a real tactical error.
Yeah, because so far, like, you should try this out on a night where you can just sleep. So you pick the one day. You'll never have press at 5 a.m.
Oh no, it gets even worse. I took the sleeping pill at 9,
Oh wow.
and they were like, "Give yourself 30 minutes and then get in bed." And then I went, "Fuck, I didn't post a podcast."
No.
So I had to do my intro read. I had to edit it together. I had never done more work behind a podcast in my life. And I was like, and I'm starting to not hallucinate, but you start having like, those thoughts right before you fall asleep where you're like, okay, I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm going to ride a golden horse down the street. And you're like, wait, where did that come from?
You start falling into these stories that are just real life until you shake yourself out of it and go, what just happened?
That was happening the whole time I was editing the podcast.
What did you have to edit? You should have just put it up unedited.
I had to.
Did you have to chop something?
I had to do reads, and I'm not really good at reads.
Oh, no. So you had to do reads on sleeping pills?
Dude, and then I got into a fight with my daughter. Like, it just fucking...
Why? What happened? Your first pill and already?
Yeah, it was the sleep was enjoyable, but I wanted to. We're doing a Blue Apron read, and so the girls wanted to cook a Blue Apron, so I thought that'll be a cool experience. The girls do it, and then I'll.
Is that where they send you your ingredients and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So fuck. I got to be honest with you. Obviously, I'm not getting sponsored for this. It's so fucking great.
Yeah.
I love it.
They advertise on the wrestling podcast too, and people love it.
Yeah, we thought we'd do them on UFC Unfiltered.
Except I get shit on so much.
Lucky you.
Because on more than one occasion I haven't been thinking, and instead of saying quinoa, I say quinoa.
Ew.
That's okay. One of the parts of the read, they say it delivers to 99% of the continental U.S.
Right.
and 99.5 of the country's deserts. But I always say desserts because it's food.
It's a tough word. Yeah, but desserts looks proper in that read. I know.
You figure the offerings include 99.5% of all desserts.
Yeah.
But
By
they
the
don't
way,
have Twinkies, but everything else.
I wish I could make this brand as integratable in my podcast
Yeah.
instead of some read. So
99% of all desserts, but not pumpkins or cunts. That's their company rule. Nothing with a pumpkin in it.
So you decide the best way to integrate them onto your show is to get high on sleeping pills and then get your daughters to talk about it.
and then I did a stamps.com read.
No.
It was so bad. And then I wanted to do something different because I'm aware that people disengage at the very beginning of a podcast. And I don't want that to
Do they?
be 100%.
Because they're waiting for it to start.
Yeah. Now a great deal of them listen to the intro but a great deal of them skip forward. And I'm one of those too.
Wait, why did they skip forward?
Because it's ads. Like, I'm going to listen to you and Rogan. I'll save it for the plane tomorrow. And when Rogan starts, I already buy all the stuff that he...
Right.
There was he didn't do any reads for ads, or did he put them in?
He does them at the very end.
At the end of the podcast.
At the end of the podcast. And so I'll skip through. I'll listen to the On It sometimes. I'll listen if it's a new podcast, new advertiser, I'll check it out. But for the most part, if it's ones that I've heard before, I'll skip through. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I want to engage them right away. So Henry Phillips tells this great story about this comedian we knew named Mike, who this is a good story I'll tell to you.
Okay.
He gets an apartment.
Who's Henry Phillips, by the way?
Who's Mike?
What's that?
And who's Mike?
You
can't say. Okay.
I can't say his last name because they're not good stories.
Okay, is it Hunt?
No.
Stupid.
I know.
Okay, I don't know Bart Simpson, is it?
I don't know if you know him. He was definitely an LA comic.
Okay.
And so he gets. I put this at the front of my podcast. It's better when Henry tells it. Mm-hmm. But he gets his. He had a roommate. And he's like 40 something, and finally he gets his own place. It's a 4-story. Overlooking the Hollywood Hills, but the best part is that the building next to him is a 3-story, so he has got an unobstructed view, open bay like huge glass windows, so he's an unobstructed view to the Hollywood Hills. And he gets there his first night, and he's like, "Fuck yes, I've made it! Like I can afford my own place, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
this is it." You know,
and I get to wake up in the morning and look out, and I see Los Angeles. I'm here.
Show business.
Yeah,
you see show business.
Yeah.
So his first night there, his girlfriend calls. He's got no furniture in there. It's nothing. It's empty. But his girlfriend calls and says, "I'm going to be coming out next week, but we should little phone sex." He's talking about his personal victory. He's like, "Yeah, let's do phone sex." So they start having phone sex, and he's going at it, and they're going at it, and he's just staring up at the Hollywood Hills like, "Fuck, dude, this is it." When she comes out, I'm going to be looking at the Hollywood Hills, banging her. This is like, it's really in the moment.
Sure.
As soon as he comes, he hears an audible 100 people go, "Oh!" There is a rooftop party directly next door to him on the 3rd floor.
No.
They're all literally eye level with him, watching him jack off.
How does he not know looking out the window?
It's dark. You can't see. The lights are on in his house, so he can't see anyone on their rooftop.
Oh, what an idiot. He left the lights on. And he's probably focused on, like, the full landscape, not, like, what's in front of
Not
him.
directly in front of him, and so he just does a marine crawl to his bedroom, like, fuck. And he lived there for, like, 3 years, and every time he'd go out to have his cigarette, they'd be like, "That's the guy, that's the guy."
Yeah, that's humiliating.
Jerked off on the first night.
But Henry Phillips is good friends with Stanhope. And
Is he an Asian comic or no?
No, aging or
Asian?
Oh, no.
I think there's a guitar player, Henry something.
Henry Cho.
Okay.
No, Henry Phillips is a guitar player, yes. But he did a movie called Punching Henry, and he's one of those guys, and you, like, I don't know if we ever had them in New York, but like a very soft-spoken, kind of play off to the side comic who everyone fucking loved. And Stanhope met him right off the bat and started taking him on tour. Stanhope's dog is named Henry Phillips. But
wow.
He did a movie called Punching Henry that like Tig's in, Sarah Silverman's in, Stanhope's in, Mike Judge is in. It's on Netflix right now. And I saw it. I've known Henry forever. And I was like, one day we were on the road in Dayton, and he calls me up. He's like, "Hey man, would you be interested in just doing lunch with me, my feature, and you bring your feature?" And I was like, "How fucking cool. No one ever does that." And I was like, "Hell yeah." So me and him did lunch, and he told me that Mike Burton story. Oh, I shouldn't have said the guy's last name.
So Mike Burton is who it was.
Wow, good for Mike.
That's my favorite thing that Bert does.
Is give up is give the skinny.
He's never good at keeping a secret, but he's always good at catching himself right after he does.
I worry about you, Bert. You might fold under questioning. Wow, what a great story that is. You kidding me?
Do you know Mike Burton?
Yes.
Mike Burton.
I love him now.
Mike Burton has the okay. So now that I've said his name, I'll tell you the best Mike Burton story
Okay,
ever.
perfect. Good.
This is the best Mike Burton. So Mike Burton is like
this is good.
He's probably a little bit like Jim's height, I would say, maybe a little taller, but a little stalker. He teaches Krav Maga, but very Jewish. Like he's got a little bit of a nose on him, but whatever. Skinny guy, good shape. So he gets a call one day, and they go, "Hey, we have a gig in Vegas. It pays $5,000, but we need you to be here in like 5 hours. Can you make it? And he's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what is it? And they're like, we'll tell you when you get here, but it's nice. Bring a suit, bring your nicest suit. All you got to do is 15 minutes. And he's like, $5,000, 15 minutes? And they're like, and we'll put you up. It's at like the MGM. It's in the big arena. Seats like 1,200.
Jesus.
No shit. He's like, fuck yeah. So he shows up. He's ready to go. Suit on. They're like, fantastic. So tonight you're going to be opening for Michael Bolton. It's an adult crowd, so please work clean. Just work clean. All you got to do is 15. For real, 15. But be clean because they don't want dirty. And he's like, no problem.
Is he a clean comic?
Yeah. He can definitely work clean.
Sure.
And so he goes, fantastic. So they're like, all right. Real professional stage managers hand him his microphone. Stand stage center. We're gonna open the curtains, and you will begin the show. And he like looks out from the curtains, and it's like 1,200. Everyone's dressed nice. Everyone's having champagne. All separate tables, and the stage manager comes up and he's like, oh, name, and he's like, Mike Burton. He goes, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Michael Burton. The whole crowd thinks they says Michael Bolton. The curtain's up. He's got a shaved head, and they're like, "Oh my god, he shaved his head!" And then he starts doing stand-up, and they're like, "He's doing stand-up?" From the distance, it looks like Michael Bolton.
And a lot of them are probably older, so the vision is not great.
Get my glasses. Is he doing jokes about Rogan? Are you serious? And he bombs for 15 minutes, and he looks off stage, and they're like, "Stretch."
No.
Yeah. He has the best fucking stories.
Why did he have to stretch?
Because Michael Bolton didn't show. He's like running late, and so he ended up doing like 45 minutes.
And why would they call him? If he said Mike Burton, why would they say Michael?
Michael Burton, and the whole place fucking goes bananas. Oh, he's here! He's gonna open up the show. He's starting with stand up.
Oh my god,
this is weird. And what happened to his signature hair,
dude? He has. I'm not even. And this is the frustrating thing. Me and Gary Valentine were really good friends with him. Mm-hmm. He has the best stories ever that never made it into his act. They just never found a way. Like he went one morning. This is like a typical Mike Burton story. So he's Jewish, obviously, and so one morning he wakes up. Me and Gary spent the night at his house with Scott Henry, and Mike Burton wakes up and he's like, "Jack Shack, anybody?" And we're like, no, we're good. And he goes, I called my normal place, and they are normally slammed before like noon, but they're wide open.
And you want to take everybody out for hand jobs?
Yeah. And so he goes, come on, let's all go for the Jack Shack. By the way, this is all stuff he would hate me telling. So we're going to pass. And he goes, oh, well, I'll tell you what, this is the best place in town, and they are wide open. And we're like, yeah, sorry, we're not going to go.
Is Jack Shack like a colloquial term? Is that
it's an LA term?
It's used? Okay.
It's a place where you get a hand job, right?
Yeah.
Everyone kind of, but you also know, you can guess what that is.
Of course. It's the first time I've heard the phrase Jack Shack.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So
it resonates.
He goes in, and they're really excited to see me. Like they were like, hey, all these Asian chicks. So they go in and give him a hand job, and real quick, and it's fantastic. And he gets out, and he's like, today is looking up. So he goes to pay, and the girl goes, I'm going to do the accent because it makes it better.
Sure.
I don't expect to see you on today. And he's like, yeah. She's like, none of my clients come in like today. And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, so excited that you came. And he was like, of course. So he pays, and then she looks at me, she goes, Happy Yom Kippur. It's the Jewish Day of Atonement. He forgot he got a hand job.
And that's why it was wide open.
Dude, he's the funniest fucking guy.
Good for him.
Just goes and gets a hand job on Yom Kippur.
And he's like Gary Valentine, Kevin's brother. Why were you guys just sleeping in his house?
Because we got hammered. We used to party really hard. Okay, last Mike Burton story. Okay. This is the best one of my favorite ones. So Gary Valentine, me, Scott Henry, and Mike Burton are now I can say all their names. Me and Henry tell probably 100 stories about Mike Burton, but we don't say his last name on my podcast.
Yeah, okay. All right. So when you listen to Bert's podcast, and it's out now, right? It came out this morning.
I just released it last night.
Know that they mean Mike Burton.
Yeah. Mike Burton is the guy.
So we're all up at Formosa Cafe. We used to party there every Thursday night after we'd wrap from our TV show. And Mike's like, one night we're like, let's go to Vegas. And Gary's like, yeah, Kevin's in Vegas. He's at the Caesar or whatever. He played the Caesar all the time. He's like, we can get a cheap room at the Caesar, and we'll all just party. We'll drive right now. Let's leave right now, and we'll be there for the whole fucking weekend. We'll roll back Sunday. And Mike's like, I'm not going. I got a set at the Hollywood Improv Saturday night. I don't want to miss it. And Gary's like, a set? A 15-minute fucking set? We can get a room at Caesar's, the four of us. We'll have a fucking blast. We can hang out backstage with Kevin. By the way, Kevin at the time is doing King of Queens, and it's blowing up. He's not who he is today. No one would say no to that. But Mike's like, no, I got a set. This is what I committed to, is stand-up. I'm not going to bail on it. And Gary's like, come on, Mike. Come on, Burton. You got to go. And he's like, I'm not going. And we're like, fuck it, Gary, we'll go. You run to Santa Monica. That's where him and Kevin lived. You go to Santa Monica, get your stuff. We're going to go get my stuff, and then we'll meet you at Scott and Mike live together. So he's like, okay. So we take off to go to get my stuff. I get my stuff, and at getting my stuff, Mike goes, fuck it. Bring your clubs. I'll go. My golf clubs. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we could play golf. It'll be fun. I haven't seen Kevin in a while. You know what? Let's fucking do it. Let's go. And I go, oh, Gary's going to be so excited. And I go, whoa. Let's not tell Gary. I go, we'll go to your house, get your stuff. We'll put all the luggage on top of you on the way back of my Navigator. And then we'll hide you there. And then halfway from Vegas, you pop up and go, surprise. And
what?
Gary will lose his fucking mind. And Burton's like, great idea.
Like midway through the car ride?
Midway through the car ride. Not like, obviously, when you get on like the 10, right?
Okay.
It doesn't have to be halfway exactly.
Yeah.
What an odd idea for a person to have.
Yeah, pretend you're not on the trip and hide in the luggage.
Yeah. So we got booze in the back. We got
It's like a
cooler.
little kid thing.
That's something you do with Brad Williams.
Jump into my carry-on.
So we got him in the way back. We got clubs in the back. Like, it's 3 rows, so all the clubs are stacked up to hide the way back. We got a cooler back there of booze. Scott Henry's driving. He's sober. I'm riding shotgun, and we're waiting for Gary. He pulls up. He had a green Lexus at the time. Hops out, comes walking in, opens the door to my car, sits in the back seat, and he goes, Burton really not going? And we're like, yeah, man, he's really not going. He goes, you know what? Fuck that guy. Let me tell you what's wrong with him personally, and then I'll tell you why I think he should quit doing stand-up. And all of a sudden, we haven't even left yet, and we see Burton kind of pop up and sit in the background. I'm like, Gary, and he goes, no, don't cut me off. I need to fucking say this. And he starts to dismantle their friendship, and we're just going, Gary, and Burton's not saying a word. And I'm like, can you please reach me, grab me a beer in the back? And he goes, sure thing, Bertsky. Turns around, sees Burton, swings back around, and he goes, when were you guys going to fucking tell me? So the whole ride to Vegas, me and Scott sat there silent, and Gary and Mike sat and tried to repair the relationship.
Oh. How humiliating.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Somebody just tearing you apart.
Oh.
Because you realize it's not like these thoughts are brand new.
No, festering is a good word.
Yeah, festering is the perfect word.
I love that guy.
Like they're just sitting there, like that's not something that just pops into your head. Like, now that he's not coming, I just realized something I don't like. It's like, no, I've been meaning to get this off I don't like that guy, and here's why.
Oh, it was so fucking great.
What's better than a good trashing? A good trashing is fun.
And I have to, if I was in the exact same scenario, I wouldn't be what you guys were doing, trying to stop Gary. I'd be like, tell me.
You'd be happy to hear that?
Oh my God! I mean, Mike, stay hidden.
You wouldn't. You'd want it to be said.
I'd keep it going. I'd ask follow-up questions on all the negative observations.
So you don't like his act? No.
Yeah. What's wrong with this act? I think most of it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, and here's which jokes specifically?
Yeah,
great.
I get nervous about that. My mom and I did that about my sister one time, one Thanksgiving. And
your mom took your sister apart?
Yeah, and my sister was on the phone and we didn't know it.
Why
That's
would?
embarrassing.
Because my sister was acting like a fucking bitch.
I guess, but it's one thing for two comedians to do it. I've never heard of a son and a mother taking apart the sister.
It was very simple. It started off with, hello, wait, is she there? And my mom's like, yes. I go, is she still acting like a cunt? And my mom's like, you have no fucking idea. And my sister's on the other line.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you got to always hang up the phone. Like on a 3-way with me and Jonathan talk to somebody. If there's another person, he'll be like, oh, okay, Jim, I'll call you back. And after even if it's a nice moment, even if we're not going to bash them, hang up, brand new line, call. You never want to.
That's what my wife says because she works in the industry, and it's like anytime there's a 3-way call or a group, a conference
Hang
call,
up.
everybody hangs up, and then they call back to recap.
I like to continue the conversation.
Unless it's going to be something really nice that you don't mind them hearing,
Like-
but you better be 100%. Like, that was a great call.
Like my sister's a cunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's fair. If you and your mom are discussing your sister being a cunt.
What's crazy
Bert's
now
more
is,
of a flow of conversation kind of guy. He doesn't like to interrupt the flow. You know what I mean?
boy, I've been caught talking shit behind people's backs so fucking much.
Have you really?
Because Bert loves, like, people don't know, like, he's a genuinely nice guy, and like like he's got that. It's almost like a childlike, realness about him. But he loves gossip. Like,
Dude, my favorite phone calls when I see Tom Segura call me, I go, "Oh, here we go!
Yeah.
It's gonna be good."
You like gossip?
I love gossip.
Last time Bert did our show, he literally was like, he sat in studio with us.
Yes.
Like this, and the staffers just asking questions about everything that was going on. And then as the Bennington people come in, he goes, "Do you guys want to go in the office and gossip?" And Roland was just like, "Yeah, let's go." And like, just went back, and all the like minutia that even I don't care about. Bert was like, "Oh, really? Really? What else happened? What else? What else? What else?"
What is it about gossip that's so fun? I don't know what it is. We all enjoy it especially with people you know.
Yeah.
Or like if someone has an insight, like I'll throw Buns under the bus. But like when Opie and Anthony was, you could see it dismantling from the inside. Like when you come as a guest,
Yeah.
you'd be like, "What the fuck? Why doesn't anyone talk?" Like everyone leaves the room.
Could you see that when you were a guest?
100%.
Okay.
I think I told Sam.
Yeah.
I've told but that's for me. That's like so. Like one time Rogan came in with Tom. Tom was there.
Yeah, Tom did it once, and like he didn't say a word the whole time.
Yeah, and he was just watching. But Tom is like so astute when it comes to people's mannerisms.
Yeah.
And he was watching it, and he was like, "I don't think Jim's happy." And I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Dude." And so we ended up talking about that for like an hour, just me and him, just
Breaking it down,
yeah. Going like. We are.
Was I being cunty?
No. Oh. No, not at all. You were being, but there was I could see it too.
You were disengaged sometimes when you weren't enjoying the room.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I think everyone, including Opie, and Anthony, I've done all the shows. Everyone is genuinely happier right now.
Yeah.
You're so engaged now as compared to like I remember going to O&A.
Thank you, Frank.
And I was
Come on, Bert, go ahead. I'm just being cute. I'm being cute.
He knew. But
yeah, I love when you get good gossip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's I don't know what it is.
Breaking and like when you get on a good roll of like that the other person has an insight too, and you can just sit down and talk about this. Because I love dissecting people. Love dissecting people. Troy's the same way. Troy and I will go to lunch and like just get on one topic and just go for like hours.
Yeah.
And then a week later do the exact same thing about the exact same topic, whatever it was.
I'd love to know what that satisfies, because I do it. We all do it.
Yeah.
What does that satisfy? Because it's fun to do.
It's so much fun. Because it also when you
and it's toxic.
It's so very toxic. Dude, it's the ugliest part of my personality is that I love it. Like I remember my buddy Croy. I remember telling him one time. I walked in to an apartment and everyone was like, "Oh my God, you're never gonna believe what happened." And I told him, I go, "That is like Christmas for me." Yeah. Like I see presents and I go, "Oh, I forgot it was Christmas." And he was like, "I hate that about you." And I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, because you're such a good person. Why do you give a fuck about other people's lives?"
Especially when like half of the time it's all fake, it's all lies, it's all like, you know what I mean, like
bad interpretation of something that was said that you find out it was wrong. You're like, oh.
See, the gossip that bothers me, I don't like I don't like industry gossip. Meaning, like there was a guy who did a pilot one time, and I remember saying to my manager at Vincent Nasser, I just talked to him about you remember Vincent?
Oh, I love Vincent. Yeah. He used to be with Barry Katz.
Yeah, and I said to Vincent, so do you think he'll do another pilot? And Vincent, and very flippantly, just goes, words out, man. The guy can't act. And that scared the fuck out of me. And I was like, whoa, you guys gossip about us? Like,
yeah.
Oh,
well, that's the other thing.
It's the reason. It's the reason, Jim, and very candidly, that I don't have much of an interest to jump to theaters, because there's no better industry gossip than he's not selling tickets. He wanted to make the jump to theaters, couldn't do it. And people say that, and you're like, fuck that. Like,
right.
Like, I'm not being that guy. I'll rather do clubs and sell out and ad shows than fucking go in, roll the like I did the Wilbur. Dude, that scared. I've never had more insecurity about a date in my life.
Really?
The phone call starts. This is really behind the scenes
industry.
This is what the phone call we get.
Yeah.
Your Showtime special's coming out. We want to start the conversation that you should be moving to theaters. You're selling clubs real well. Let's do the Wilbur. Everyone sells out the Wilbur. Everyone sells out. Everyone sells out the Wilbur. I go, okay. I personally can't see myself moving 1,200 tickets in an evening. How in a city I've never performed in. Mm-hmm. However, let's do the Wilbur. So special comes out November 11th. Ticket count's like at 151.
Oh no!
I'm like, okay, and they're like, you know what? It's Christmas time. Not a lot of people were thinking about buying tickets over Christmas time.
So you're 1,050 short.
Yep, that's a very astute piece of math.
Beginning of December, we're at about 350, and I'm like, okay, and they're like,
what was the date?
January 21st.
Oh, okay, that's not bad for. It's fine.
It's not bad. Middle of December, we're at 440, but we should be higher. You know what? Let's look into some marketing for this. Let's see what kind of press we got out there. End of December, towards like right after Christmas, they're like, we haven't moved any. We're still at like 450, 500. And they're like, you know what? 700 tickets sold at the Wilbur's not bad. And I'm like, hold on. We started this with everyone sells out the fucking Wilbur.
That's what they said. Everybody sells it out, except you.
It's going to look full.
It's going to look full.
That's agent jargon for just don't look in the balcony. Look straight ahead. Don't look up. Yeah, it's going to look full.
Yeah, and then I start like I go up to Joey and I'm like, hey, you did the Wilbur. Did you sell it out? He's like, yeah. And then I'm like,
no.
Tony Hinchcliffe, I'm like, hey, you did the Wilbur. Did you sell it out? And he's like, fuck yeah. And I'm like, oh. Then you start going, the word on the street is Bert Kreischer can't sell tickets. This is the end of my career. Like, you start getting in your head going, no theaters for me. Looks like I'll be at the... And then in the meantime, I do the Dayton Funny Bone, and they accidentally don't read my contract, so they paper the entire room.
Oh, and I'm like, the worst.
And I'm like, you know what? I didn't sell out that, but I sold out Dayton. And then I get my check, and it's just the guarantee. I go, wait, what happened? We had sold out shows. She goes, I papered the room. So you're like, oh my God. Beginning of January, like January 11th, now we're like 10 days out.
And papering the room means all free tickets.
Free tickets, they have to buy drinks, and they're usually not great crowds.
Yeah, because they're just there for whatever.
Yeah.
January 5th rolls around. I think I saw you guys at the time. I hung out with you guys, and I'm pimping the Wilbur date.
Yes, I remember.
And I'm like, fuck. And then something happened in my career, and then the next week it just sold out immediately. And it was because that machine story went viral.
Because the Facebook video.
And Joe and Tom and I did the weight loss challenge on Joe.
Right.
And all that shit culminated into one. And then it sold out immediately. And then all the shows sell out for the month. And so you're like, oh, you're already sold out. Oh, we need to make the jump to theaters. I was like, fuck you. I've been in the driver's seat when we're not selling tickets. Just put me in clubs. I'm cool with clubs. Let me be fucking legit famous, not some fluke, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I love that, like, the fear is fueled on the monster that you are pushing, which is gossip, because you know the behind your back, because you know what you do behind people's backs.
You've heard it when they say a comic that
they've said it about me. I've heard it. I've heard it said, but I've also, it doesn't matter, because even people that sell out everywhere, people gossip and talk shit about. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, you just did a small theater tour recently, right?
Yeah, some were good, some weren't. Some were better than I thought they would be.
Mouthful of Shame.
Yes.
That's out.
Came out
yesterday.
Oh fuck yeah,
dude! It's so good.
I've been putting that up on my Facebook a lot.
Thank you.
One of the things I love more than gossip is silently. By the way, I just didn't do that, but silently supporting people I absolutely love. Like if Itel ever says anything is remote, automatically I'm putting that up on all my platforms.
Right.
Pete Holmes had Crashing, immediately put that on all my platforms, and I don't reach out and go, "Hey man, you know."
Yeah, just wanted to make sure you saw my tweet.
Yeah, but I just did that to Jim. But I put that up on my Facebook and everywhere. That was a great trailer.
Thanks,
that's
man.
a great, by the way, and I can, from going through that process, that's a great fucking trailer.
Yeah, I had to pick a couple lines. They had a couple of lines that were different, and I asked to switch it. They were very cool with it. They were so easy. But thank you, man.
Yeah. That's going to be fucking huge.
It's gotten a very good response.
It's going to be really big. Like, it's for, like, I think, I don't know if it seems like Monster Rain was pretty huge.
Monster Rain, in my opinion, was where that's where you turned a corner with comics and kind of took like a sprint, and everyone was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
It was
I think
also
that's
radio
right.
show fans at that time too. I remember we were on terrestrial and XM, and it was a really weird time. I think we were actually booted from XM when I taped that. That was when we were on a suspension for
that
something
30
for
day?
Homeless Charlie.
Yeah.
That was right around there in that time.
Yeah.
But that was like, that was a big one that I think put you on another level, and this one's going to do it too. I was watching it last night.
There's little things in this business where you see people change the way they do their art.
Yeah.
And Monster Rain was the first time anyone that I will say that came out with such fucking realness, where everyone's like, oh, I got real stories. I could be real.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Should have done it first, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is just a good like combination of like the topical stuff that Jim does now, but also the real life stuff. It's just everything comes together
Yeah, I felt.
nicely.
Thank you, Sam. I felt really good about this one, so I'm happy it's out and people have responded nicely. And I'm going to be at the Borgata in August.
Wait, which
Tickets
one?
on sale Friday.
Which one? The big one?
No, I've done the event center when we did a bunch of us, but now I've been doing the Music Box. I think I was the first comic who did a gig there. I mean, I'm doing the Music Box. I got 2 shows.
You know, Netflix
I love
or no
that.
Netflix. I mean, Jim is not selling tickets. You
Yeah,
know,
it's just not.
they thought the Netflix special was going to do it. If that doesn't do it, nothing's going to do it
They
for
thought
the guy.
that was the event center, but apparently it's still the Music Box. I love the Music Box. I really do. It's one of my favorite
You know,
rooms.
he says is that he loves the room. He says it's his choice, but I think we know what that means, don't
They
we?
put up a curtain and you can't even tell.
Dude, that's the worst. When you walk in and you see the worst is when you have a show that's not sold, and you walk in and you hear the music playing, and the chatter of what sounds like only a few people talking, and you're like, oh no.
You didn't peek out to see what the room looked like before you got on stage.
There are times that will happen, and then you look out and you go, "Oh my god, a shitload of people came." That happened New Year's Eve. I thought it was going to be terrible, and it turned out to be really good.
Yeah.
Oh, mine was horrible.
Oh my! It literally, I thought that was 15 people in there, and I think you and Jess came back, and I'm like, great. If I don't hang myself, we're gonna have a great 27th. But then people come in at the very end. But that's a panicky
By
moment.
the way, that would have been great. The fact that I was at the New Year's Eve show, if like Jess and I had a lot more room in that theater, shall we say? If there's a little more of an echo.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have enjoyed that.
You would have.
If I had looked around the room and see that it was an empty. Where was it in Westchester?
That was
Tarrytown.
that was
If
my
it was-
third Westchester gig of the year.
If it was just an empty Tarrytown theater, if Jess and I had our pick of seats, oh, would I have loved that show.
Laughing like in Cape Fear with a cigar.
Laughing at the setups at really weird times, looking down at me.
Dude, I had a guy in my show the other day that was in Richmond who was drunk and reciting the Machine story as I was telling it. And I was like, oh, in my head, you can't stop it and go, can you please stop that, sir?
Yeah.
But he was just like just fucking, rah, rah, rah. And then in my head, I was like, when I get to the end where you got to take a pause, you're like, so understanding the Machine, I took an extra long pause and I just heard him very audibly just say it before me. And I was like, fucking asshole, I don't want to tell the story.
That's what I was
either.
about to say. Like, you don't even want to tell the story anymore.
Yeah.
But and you put it on the special because you thought that it's like, okay, now it's on the special, now it's over. But the fact that it went viral after the special means that everybody goes.
Oh,
and
now
is
I've heard
like-
it for the first time. And
Right.
I've brought 20 people.
Right.
He wants them to hear it, but there's going to come a point where you can't tell it anymore. It's just a really, really well known. It's a great story.
Really wish.
I was going through the video. It's great. It looks really good, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, now we're trying to sell it as a feature. So, well, hopefully it'll just, I don't know, fucking, I'm just,
Yeah.
look, I'm so grateful, man.
I guess, but you thought, I mean, I'm sure you didn't think that you'd still be in 2017 walking into radio interviews and people asking you about Van Wilder. So once it's a feature, it's probably just going to be the same thing.
I'm sure. But you know what, like I say this very, like, I say it from, if you had told me when I first started and I was working the door at the Boston Comedy Club,
Yeah.
hey man, don't worry. In like 17 years, you're gonna go in and you'll know Jim Norton. He'll be like a friend. So I was back when Jim smoked. Like he was just like a regular comic, and I worked the door, and they just walk in, and I'd be like, hey guys, and they're like, hey, what's up? I don't think anyone knew my name really. And they're like, and you'll have a signature bit that people will call out at your shows, and you'll make good money from that one bit. Everyone will hear. I'd be like, fuck yeah. I'd be like, what is it? What is it?
Yeah.
And then you get it, and you're like, part of you, and I think any comic does this. Anything that works, you start distancing yourself from because you don't want to look like a hack. Because we know comics that like found a way around this loophole in the system to get a standing ovation, and they do it every time. You're like, really?
Yeah.
And like I did this thing called the waitstaff raffle.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then-
so that's another thing that kind of went everywhere.
yeah.
wait. Okay, so the waitstaff raffle goes everywhere because some guy is like crying or something because he really needed the money.
So this is how it works. So I do it one night in Vinnie Brand's club,
Right.
and the girl gets like $400.
Which explain what it is.
I go out to the audience. I very candidly, and I think all our fans, I think we have the same group of listeners.
Sure.
They're very great people, and in my opinion. And so when I say to the audience, I go, "Hey, here's what we're gonna do. Everyone give $1 forward, and then I'll collect all the money, and then I'll get all the wait staff's names, and I'll pull a name out of the hat, and that person will get $400, $500. It's gone up to as much as $890. And I go, and that'll really, if you've ever been in the service industry, it'll change their fucking month.
Right.
It really will change their month and give them some breathing room. And dude, the pots have gotten ridiculous. But the first one I did is Vinnie Brand's, and the girl she wins. She makes a joke offhand to me, and then pulls me off to the side and says, "Hey, just a heads up, my car's been in the shop and I couldn't afford to get it out, and now I can. And you just changed my fucking month."
You're like the undercover boss of comedians.
Yeah.
That go and be like, you said that you wanted to go back to school. Well, I'm going to give you $5,000 and send you back to school.
So my wife hears about it and is like, "That's fucking cool. You should do that more often." So then the next week I'm in San Diego. I do it, and the girl wins. I do it one time. The girl wins, and she goes, "Hey, I'm going to Canada tomorrow on vacation, and there was a bunch of stuff I wasn't going to be able to do because I couldn't afford it with my friends. Now I get to do everything on my trip." And I'm like, "Cool." The next girl's like, in Buffalo, she's like, "Hey, it's off stage. I'm pregnant. We're about to give birth, and now we get to get the car seat we want." And I'm like, "Oh, so it's like hit me." So then I do one in Lexington, and it's a lot of people when they get the money. And they're getting like $700. They're just like, "I'm buying cocaine," and everyone. I hate it. I hate when they do that. One guy comes on stage, I randomly have my camera up because I'm trying to work on this ziplining bit, and so this guy Greg comes up and he wins. And he's a black dude. By the way, I'm not being racist, but this is how my brain works. I always want a young, pretty white girl to win.
Attaboy, Bert.
Because their emotions are better.
Oh,
right.
Men's emotions.
But young, pretty white girls, it's also because they haven't won enough in life.
Yeah, right.
So, you want to see them finally win.
Being held down in this country. Attaboy, Bert.
Yeah. So I marched, and so by the way, the young, pretty white women were none of them marched. A lot of threes. This guy wins, and immediately I'm like, I won't get any emotion out of him because he's a brother. Black guys aren't necessarily.
Sure.
And he's a man, but he comes up and he's already crying, and I'm like, this is bizarre. Like, and then so I give him the money and I go, you seem emotional, and he's like, and he starts like, and you can hear it in his voice. He's like, "My daughter's birthday is on the 17th. I wasn't gonna have money for her birthday, and now I can give her the birthday she wants." And now the audience is like, "Holy shit." He's like, "I'm just a single father, man, trying to get by." And the whole audience starts running 20s to the stage and making it rain on this guy. And my energy's through the roof. I'm going, "Holy shit, Greg! Holy shit!" And we're pulling in like an extra $500 from the audience. And he fucking is sobbing. And I'm like, "Oh my God." Kind of goes viral and like that. A lot of people saw it on Facebook.
Yes.
And then I start going to clubs and the audiences are like, "Do the raffle! Do the raffle!" And I'm
It's not even a joke.
Yeah.
That's not a bit. But the wait staff is like,
Of course, they want you to do it. Yeah.
They're like, "Please do it." I mean, I'm bringing in like $5,000 extra a week from raffles for these kids.
But I feel like now that it's a thing that you do, like it's one of your signatures, you should get some kind of a cut.
Absolutely.
Already thought about that, Sam. $5 extra a week wouldn't be bad.
Right.
All right, kids, 10% off the top. But yeah, this weekend one guy won $390, and everyone else had won like $690.
Yeah.
And it was just a weird show where it was still packed, but it's just usually every show some guy baller walks up with 100 easily. Someone always walks up with 100.
Sure.
But this time it was just singles.
And it was just singles.
Yeah.
And he was like, I go, "Hey man, how much you win?" And he was like, "It was like $390, but whatever, dude, I'll take it." And I was so fucking pissed.
Yeah, I would hope so.
You're giving a guy $400, and he's like, "Well, I saw the video."
He's like, "I know that." Like he goes, "Last night she made $690," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know how to fix that." Ugh, wow. And then my whole fear, Jim, is I'll just be a guy that's whittled down to. They're like, have you seen Bert Kreischer perform? Oh, you mean the guy that rips his shirt off, kills a beer, does a raffle, and tells a machine story? You're like, yeah, that guy. That's the guy. You got him.
Right.
He's like, nah, I saw it last year.
Right.
That's good to have 4 things, though. If you have 4 things, that's not bad. 4 things is good.
You have to start making Bert Kreischer's raffle T-shirts. Picture you, and that one's not even like it's just a nice thing to do. It was supposed to just be like a little thing that you might do at the end of a show, maybe.
What I wish I could do is franchise it to other comedians who have a hard time dealing with the check spot.
Yeah,
because that's the best time to do it.
Sure.
Because right when they start dropping checks and everyone stops listening, go, you're already in your wallets. That's when I make the most money. But like the other thing I noticed is that this girl Taylor Tomlinson told me, she was like, it doesn't work as well when you don't personally collect every dollar bill. Because a lot of people see, like, I'd have a Taylor I'd have her come up and help me collect. There's like 410 people in San Antonio. The pots were ridiculous, but they'd see her and they just turn around and sit down. They wanted to give it to me,
right?
Like, give me a hug and be like,
"Well, you're the raffle guy."
Yeah,
I'm the raffle king.
Yeah,
and it's a chance for them to talk in a comedy club for a second, and not get thrown out.
Yeah,
here you go, dude.
Yeah, they get to be part of the show.
Yeah.
I am just a person. I think I'm better at branding. Like, like the Call In Sick to Work show is better than my stand-up shows, and it's just chaos. It's nothing. It's drunken.
You're a concept guy.
I'm a concept.
You're just concepts.
I should be a manager.
Yeah. And just find guys, and then when you come up with good stories or whatever, you can you can sell the stories to different clients.
Sell the stories.
Todd Glass and I in DC are doing a lock-in show at the DC Improv.
What does that mean?
Todd Glass has full tickets are I think $70 a ticket. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then it's me and Todd. That's just the both. Well, hold on.
Okay.
Show starts at midnight.
Okay.
Todd Glass is going to remove all the furniture and bring in his own version of what he wants, and there's some mattresses, some couches, so it's not going to be $270. It's going to be whatever we can fit in the room comfortably. Show starts at midnight. Once you enter the doors are then locked, and you can't leave till 5 in the morning.
What are you going to do for 5 hours?
We haven't figured that part out.
It's just the 2 of you?
Someone was like, I think we can get Chappelle to stop by. I was like, fuck yeah. He's good for 3.
Oh man, that's like a version of like when you're a kid and like it's all night movie night
or roller skating rinks. That was my idea. Remember you go to a roller skating rink and they'd be like lock in, and you're like, Mom, Dad, I'll see you in the morning. And then you walked out at like 6 in the morning, like rubbing your eyes and like, Dad, can we stop by and get donuts? Like,
right.
Oh, that's what I'm looking for in life.
But now but these are adults.
Yeah,
I know.
Going to a comedy
they
show.
have children and babysitters,
and if they're fans of mine, they have legit drinking problems.
Yeah, but that's
what we haven't figured out into this.
You can't. You're gonna just have people. They're all gonna be shit faced all night.
No shit.
Yeah, and they're gonna want to leave at one point. You're gonna have to let them out. It's too illegal to keep them locked in.
2 strangers just fucking on one of the mattresses.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on? What did we do? This is a terrible idea.
Is that a 3rd show for the night you're doing or no?
I think we haven't figured it out. Todd and I have committed personally to each other to do it, and Elliot in the morning is gonna promote it. But I don't know. Right now it's just a pipe dream. But the Call In Sick to Work show was a pipe dream, and then it happened, and now I get clubs going. We'll cancel his Thursday show if he does a Call In Sick to Work show Friday, because those people, those are fucking. You would hate those shows.
Why?
It's people so drunk that like literally
you just get them day drunk, right?
But it's in towns like Tampa. When I do Tampa, like one guy stood up one time. He's like, in the middle of the show, he's like, I have stage 4 bone cancer. Like just hammered. And you're like, oh, fantastic. Cowhead's in the back losing his mind. And then the one in Tampa, I got so drunk, I don't remember how I got off stage. Like I blacked out in the middle of the show. Because they just send shots after shots after shots. I just did one in DC, and there was a picture of my stool, and there were 9 shots on the stool. And I was like, in those events, that's what that is. If you want to watch me drink and do stand-up, that's the Call In Sick to Work show. It's definitely not.
Bert Kreischer is a couple of things. Number one, I've never met anybody that goes on pure instinct the way Bert does.
Yeah.
Like in hindsight, he's like, I shouldn't have blacked out on stage. But in the moment, he's like, of course I should do all these shots.
Guy's got stage 4 cancer.
Yeah. And
let's drink to all the things you're going to miss.
I ordered him a drink, and he said, I'll take a rum and Diet Coke. I go, why are we skimping on the calories, buddy?
But it's also like pure Like, it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory of comedy. Like, I feel like so many of your ideas are just like stuff that when you're a kid was awesome, and you're going, how do we make this a somewhat adult thing?
I tried one time. I was like, I had an idea. I did a live podcast, and I was like, but I don't want to do a live podcast. I had Ari with me. I go, everyone listens in the theater of their own mind, so let's turn the lights off totally, and we'll do it in pitch black. And Ari's like, I don't know if that's a good idea.
What?
And I was like, come on, we'll do it. And so we started. And
So you wanted so you wanted the audience to participate? Like, this had to be theater of the mind, even though you guys are in the room with them.
You wanted to do the podcast in a setting that radio guys use to describe why they lie all the time. Like theater of the mind.
Live radio shows have been a thing as long as radio has been a thing. The Prairie Home Companion, but they never turn the lights off on the stage.
No.
Because people need to serve drinks.
Yes, they do.
So it was a shit show. I'm just a high concept thinker.
Did you keep the lights off the whole show? Did you just have to quit on it and turn it on?
You got to turn them on within a fucking minute.
Oh, so what do you do? How does anybody have confidence in you as a performer if you're like, okay, here's what's going to be special. All the lights are going to be out. And then a minute in, you're like, okay, guys, this didn't work.
They have to go back on. Yeah,
we have to turn the lights back on.
We're making no money on booze.
We realized very quickly it wasn't going to work.
That might work in a theater show. Well, you'd have to keep the little lights to walk up the steps. But a theater, there's no drink served, so that might actually work there. But then again, you're pretty dark anyway in the theater.
They did a show, I think.
Why would anybody buy a ticket? If it's a live podcast, right? If you're buying a ticket for Theater of the Mind, just wait until the podcast comes out.
Right.
And you can get the same exact experience for free of not seeing you.
They're actually going because they don't want Theater of the Mind. They actually want to watch you.
Right. Like the Theater of the Mind, part of the Theater of the Mind is the audience reacting to the theater.
Clearly, I didn't flesh this out.
No, it's like going to a hooker to do something you saw in porn, and then she makes you watch her do it behind the glass. It's the same experience I have at home. I wanted something else.
This is like porn because you're just watching me do it.
This is not fun.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I have some bad ideas.
But that could be good as a segment in a show. You turn the lights off for a few minutes. That could be great.
Right, but it would have to be one of those like, you'd have to do something weird or make a noise or something, and what do you think I'm doing? And then the lights come on, and it's something you didn't expect.
Yeah.
I'm trying to turn the...
You're strangling Ari with a tie.
I'm trying to turn the Calling Sick to Work show into a podcast, like a live event, so I don't burn material.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that bums me out is that, I mean, that was not Corolla's idea, but I mean, he was the one that told me that. He drove me home one day when we were talking about uncomfortable. I don't like intimacy like that, and Corolla's not. He's a regular man, and he was like, "I'll drive you home," and I was like, "I don't know what to talk about. I can't help but stare and look at your hands now." Like, I don't like. I get intimacy freaks me out, and so.
So you mean like intimacy of just like
a couple of men talking in the car?
If Jim was like, "Hey, can you give me a ride?" I'd be like, "Oh, okay. You're gonna ask for that, and not just get an Uber? Okay."
Right.
I'm really bad with intimacy.
And then we're just sitting next to each other in a car, like sharing, because that's where a lot of personal experiences happen.
You have an odd definition of intimacy, though.
Yeah.
Adam drove me home. Wow, you're like blood brothers. Fucking guy gave you a ride.
he was cool as shit. I'm glad I did it because I learned a lot. But that does freak me out. Like, I have a hard time making friends when people go, "Hey man, we should hang out." I go, "Oh, clearly someone wants to suck my dick." So that happened with Elliot Gould. I thought he wanted to fuck me because we did a pilot together, and he gave me his number, and I was like, "I will never call that."
Really?
I think you told me that. I think you told me that after the Will Smith thing.
Oh,
you
were
like,
same thing happened with Will Smith.
And Elliot Gould wanted to fuck me too.
Yeah, and I was like, I will never call him. It was written on a, those
a condom.
And so I never called him, and he just kept calling me. He's like, "Bert, I thought we were going to do dinner sometime." And I was like, one night, I was like, "Fine, I'm going to fuck this guy." And so, not for that, but I was like, I'll just go and be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And we had a great dinner. And then at the end, I was like, he's not going to kiss me or anything? Like, God damn it.
What if he just got a kick out of you?
Yeah, maybe he just enjoyed you.
Yeah, he did. And I think he was going through a period where he was like, I think he was going through a breakup or something, and he was rediscovering his grandchildren. And
just wanted a friend.
He did. And by the way, he did the same thing with Casey Affleck. And they actually remained friends. And
Isn't
they're
it
still
Affleck?
friends. I think it's Affleck. Agree to disagree.
Okay.
I've heard people say a fleck before, but I think it's very sort of L.A.
Ben Affleck just got out of rehab.
Yeah, I did hear that for drinking.
Dude.
Alcohol rehab.
Do you want to talk about me feeling like I missed an opportunity?
For alcohol rehab?
No, to party with Ben Affleck.
Oh.
Do you know how excited I'd be if I got a call from my agent? He's like, listen, I got a client. I can't tell you his name, but he just saw you online and he wants to hang out. He's partying. It's got to be on the down low. I can't even give you his name, but you need to meet him at the Snake Pit on Melrose. I'd be like, okay, sure.
You would go to that? You wouldn't be like, I think...
No.
You'd say Ben Affleck. I mean, you wouldn't think Ben Affleck wanted to fuck you?
Yeah.
No.
Wants to meet in a secret location without a name exchange?
Right. Yeah, if we're drinking, you're going
to walk into the room and there's going to be a wall with a hole in it.
I would hope for him or Mel Gibson.
But
Mel I get.
Don't more people have sex after drinking than just going out?
No, not as Ben Affleck.
Oh, it's silly.
Yeah, come on. He's fucking. But anyway, I don't know where we're going with this story. But
Mel Gibson would be a much more fun hang than Ben.
Oh,
I think so.
Ben would just preach politics. Ben would be. But Mel would have a couple of belts and then fucking start spitting out things he said to the police.
I think Mel would preach his own brand of politics.
It might be a brand of politics, but it'd be fun to listen to.
It certainly wouldn't line up with Ben's politics.
How would you fish into these? That's my question. Like, how would you sit with Mel? Right? Now you've had a couple tequilas, and he's like, and he's starting to fire hot. Throw me your fish out line of like.
What was the film we did? The Passion of the Christ.
Yes,
dude, such a good job. I can't believe they made you take that scene out. Like, why would they make you take that out? Because they didn't make him take out a scene. Mm-hmm. There was one scene that they said was anti-Semitic.
Jim is so good. I'm totally inviting you if I get an invite to Mel Gibson.
It made it look like he was anti-Jewish. So there was a scene he had to take a small thing.
Yeah,
I think where it might have been when the Jews said, "Give us Barabbas," or whatever. I don't remember. But I would ask, why'd they ask you to take that out? He'd be like, wasn't a big deal. I guess they thought. I'm like, man, people just don't like history painted accurately. I don't understand why.
You get him going.
History painted accurately, Jim. You're so good.
I would get him riled up
because that's like the coding for like white supremacists being like, you're in safe territory.
Or if you feel like your work has been tampered with, that would give him justifiable anger that his work had been tampered with.
Yeah.
And then we'd unload. And I'd be like, and fucking, by the way, dude, look, we all screw up. But being pulled over by the police is supposed to be like a private thing. If you have a moment there, it's supposed to remain private. You're not supposed to. It's not supposed to. That's
you would
inappropriate.
Just be supportive of all the stuff that's happened to him.
I mean, I actually am.
This is me at Mel Gibson's Malibu Ranch, just looking at my note cards, going, Jesus.
Yes, and her music career, you find she should have been more grateful instead of outing you like that.
Oh, you're just listening to a tape of this show in your ear, like Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah, I would absolutely. I'd be Team Mel the whole time. He's very, very enjoyable.
His movies are always fucking amazing.
Dude, I didn't realize he directed Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah,
and I didn't expect to like it, but I wound up really enjoying it. Peter, to know it's a true story. It was actually a really good film. And then I saw Mel Gibson. Oh God, of course, he's fucking great.
Yeah.
Did you see Apocalypto?
I did. I love it. It's one of my favorite movies.
So that's one of the most amazing movies, and I don't think they talk in the entire thing.
No, I would like to. I've never seen it subtitled, so I have no idea what it was about. No, I'm kidding. It's a fucking amazing film.
What do you call that? What do you call that when you say something ridiculous that then the passerby doesn't gets upset? You didn't see it with subtitles? Like I said to someone. I don't know why everyone's...
I call that I'm talking to idiots.
Yeah. I said to someone one time, I go, yeah, I watched Gravity on my phone. It's not that good. And they're like, you watched it on your phone?
Well, that's the problem.
You gotta see it in surround sound. And you're like, no shit, dickhead, it's a joke.
Yeah.
I didn't really...
It's people who take everything literally.
Yeah.
There's a little on the spectrum. A little on the spectrum, folks. Take everything literally.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you call it?
We used to call it noodling.
Noodling?
Yeah, noodling is
catfish.
Where you put your arm in a hole, but you could noodle people and just say something stupid that they didn't know that you automatically knew the truth, and they'd get upset, and then you just see how long you could keep them on.
Got him.
Yeah,
got him.
Sure.
And then we go, you've been noodled.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. Did you really say that, Bert?
Yeah, it's a good show. Noodlin'. 'IN at the end.
Yeah. You make that a show?
Oh, Hidden Cam Noodlin' show.
That's cool.
That's
so cool.
Although we used to do that Although not to that extent. But I remember me and Kenny would walk by people, and we would say like the obnoxious moments, and we would say horrible things. Like I remember, it's not nice, but when JFK Jr. went missing, me and Kenny were like we were getting onto elevators, and as people were getting off. I would say to Kenny, I can't believe they found him alive in the ocean. And then the doors would close. Oh, that was a good one. And there were people that actually, one guy stopped the elevator, and he said, they found, who are you talking about? And we said, some stupid movie. It was a great moment with Kenny.
That's so great.
Yeah.
You were always, my favorite one you used to do is...
That's true.
I'd go up to the Comedy Cellar bar, and I'd go drink there a lot. I would get done work and go over to the drink there, and all the comics would be hanging out. And there was one bartender, I forget his name, but I always go, I remember one time I go, Jim, what's that guy's name? And you're like, oh, it's Kenny. And I go, okay, Kenny! And then he goes, it's Danny. And then I'd watch Jim just and then sigh.
You can't give the right name.
No.
Ever.
I've never, I can't tell you, I've never been giving the right directions to a bathroom in a restaurant with Jim. Ever. Where's the bathroom? Oh, it's right that way. Okay. It's always the opposite direction.
I like to give directions like fucking De Niro telling Lorraine Bracco to get a dress.
Keep going.
Past, down there.
Yeah.
But there's construction cones. Good.
You never talked about being unsuccessful on New Year's Eve.
Whoa.
What happened?
And where were you?
Levity Live in Oxnard. And I
in Oxnard? Where the fuck's that?
Oh, it's good. You'd love it.
Is it new?
Yeah, it's brand new. It seats a ton of people too.
Where is Oxnard?
It is up the 101, like towards
It's here
Ventura.
in California?
It's in California, but it's out towards the beach, like above Malibu.
Is it the same Levity Live people as in like Nyack?
Yeah,
They just-
exact same management, same everything, and then I got a huge guarantee, like bigger than I deserved. And didn't
Obviously.
move any tickets.
That happens sometimes with a new club too, though. People aren't used to going. Comedy club tickets are a little better because you'll like if you just say 350 or 400 people in the club, 100 are going anyway because it's a comedy club and they want to go out on a Saturday or a Friday night. So you have a little less tickets and it's a built-in promotion. Coming up next week, we got Bert Kreischer, we got it's a much better ticket to sell a comedy club than a theater. Theater just you got to go out and sell tickets.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But a new club doesn't have that history, so a lot of times with a new club that will happen.
Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama. Have you done that yet?
I've only done one. I did the my one gig in Alabama was the what's it called, the Dome?
Stardome?
Yeah, it was a fun gig. I didn't sell a lot of tickets. That was the very beginning of the tour last year.
I'm doing the Stand Up Live in Huntsville, and I'm nervous about that because they're like, yeah, it's a brand new club. It's been open a month, and you're like, oh,
Right.
And I know you can get your demographics or your geographics on podcasts, and I don't have a ton of Alabama listeners.
That's not good.
Yeah, I know, but then you test that out, and you're like, do they give you guys your analytics?
Nothing.
Dude.
That would fucking be so helpful.
Of course it would.
Would you? Here's the deal. Would you take less money if they told you, if they gave you all, not a ton of less money, like not a ton of less money, but would you compromise your salary a tad bit if you got all your analytics from your show?
It would depend on the bit, and for me, it would be more valuable than for Sam.
And I think if we got our analytics, we would find out we're already taking less money. I think that's why we don't have our analytics.
Yeah, I think he's right.
Really?
Yeah.
So we've had this. Don't say who we were talking about, but I don't remember who we were talking about. But I know I said, like, how many listeners do you think?
Oh, this person or that person.
Yeah,
has.
get on like terrestrial versus Sirius versus, because I can tell you exactly how many listeners I have
on your podcast.
Exactly.
And I can
tell you how many exactly Joe has. And
He's a lot.
Joe's got more than anyone. Joe's got more than anyone doing the game at all. What's so crazy is I sat with a person who works for NPR, who has a popular podcast, and we were candidly talking about money from podcasting, and those NPR guys get kind of fucked because because it's National Public Radio.
Yeah.
So they can't. There's a cap. They can't make $1 million off their podcast.
Oh wow.
So like all those great ones, like all the great ones that are NPR, like Wait, Don't Tell Me, and you can't. There's no like $1 million. It's like, yeah, you can make a good living, but you can't make as much as you deserve for as popular as your podcast is. But Rogan, man, sky's the fucking limit.
Yeah,
I
it's
did
only
a show
getting
yesterday,
bigger.
and Sam said that on the YouTube, just when you're doing like, it wasn't even the pod, it was just like the live YouTube stream. He said there was like 25,000 people.
There's 25,000 watching live, and that's just when I tuned in.
Dude.
Like, it's gonna get. I mean, all those. It'll get 1 million. It'll get at least 1 million views on YouTube.
Oh, 100%. There's people that will spike for Joe, and that like you,
Yes.
100%. And then
Especially after the Netflix thing, because I do think this Netflix special is gonna increase your audience again the way the Monster Rain did.
I hope so, man.
I think it will.
100%.
I think it really
But
will.
for the analytics, it would be more valuable to me than for you because I'm doing live gigs. Then again, you might want it for your own for negotiation, but for me to be where do I go to perform?
I mean, it's really because I know from doing the wrestling podcast, I'm the same way with you. I know exactly how many people are listening, where they're from, what they're listening on, and it's super helpful.
Yeah, I love it in my podcast because
I should ask about you. Sorry to interrupt you, but I should ask about for UFC Unfiltered so I could maybe see like certain.
They
That might be
definitely
some,
have it.
Yeah,
They definitely have it.
Yeah. Oh, and I can probably already tell you because I know the big UFC markets because that we get a lot of trickle fans from that being just under the Rogan umbrella of like a podcast of a guy who's friends with Joe. But like Ohio's massive. Texas is fucking insane. LA and New York are always the biggest. Florida's really big for me. But then I got one like Detroit, and I was like, what the fuck? I've never been to Detroit.
You should do. I did Detroit. It's a great gig. The Andiamo Dinner Theater. It sounds awful.
Yeah.
Like that. No one wants dinner theater and a fucking ticket. It's great. Detroit's a good gig.
How big
man.
is it?
700 or 800.
I'm gonna stick with 3.
No, you could do it. If you have people listening, you would do great there, dude.
Guys, I'll be at the Crowfoot Lounge.
I really
May
didn't think I
4th.
would do well when they gave me that gig. I was like, ugh, this is gonna be a rough one. It was phenomenal.
But you can also figure out, and it wouldn't apply to Sirius, I guess, but for your UFC podcast, you should figure out international listeners.
Oh yeah, I
you
guess
need
so.
to. I'll bet there's a lot of people in because England is big for wrestling,
Dude.
I'll bet it's big for MMA too.
England and Australia and Canada. You'd be huge. You're huge in Canada already.
I don't think I am. at all.
100%
No.
because I'm big in Canada and it's just through podcasting. Canada's a big podcast place because there's a lot of driving for like in Edmonton, in Calgary. Like it's a huge market for podcasters. But I went and did England, and I was like conservative. I was like, just a small room. I don't want to like. I'm going to do one show. I was just going to do a meetup with my fans and just be like, I figure like 5 people will show up and we'll all get a pint and have a conversation about podcasts. And then I booked a club and it sold out in like under an hour. And I was like, oh fuck, this is I should have done a bigger venue.
Sure.
And then I just got reached out to by this Australian promoter, and he's like, no, podcasts are fucking huge down here. Let's do a tour.
Yeah, I did Australia. It was really good. It was less people in Melbourne than I wanted, but Sydney was much better. And the promoter's like, the first couple of times you come, it was great. He was so happy. They're phenomenal.
Yeah,
down
they've been watching Eddie If's act. No, I'm kidding.
there. Eddie's big down there, right?
Eddie's fucking huge down there. He just came off a tour, and he was doing like live podcasts that were selling fucking ridiculous theaters. Eddie's an interesting fucking guy. I've known Eddie for a very long time.
I haven't seen him in a while. Him and Jim Jeffries used to do the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Jim Jeffries is a fascinating guy.
Yeah.
You want to talk about perspective, not to put Jim's shit on blast, but I go in to do the DC Improv for that Call and Sick to Work show. Really proud. It sold out in a minute. Very, very proud. Very proud. On the plane, run into AEG, and they're like, oh, Bert, we have some outstanding offers. And I said, yeah. I'll get around looking at those. I said, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, Jim Jeffries is playing Constitution Hall. Seats like 3,000. So, as a lark, you get in the car. I wonder if there's an available ticket. I was just wondering to see if someone sold out. Scroll. No available tickets, but they're selling for like fucking $150 on StubHub. And I'm like, I'll be walking with a $5,000 check this weekend. But yeah, he's blowing up.
Yeah,
he pulled up to my house to do my podcast, and he was in a Maserati, and I was like,
Really?
That's as expensive as my house.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
He's
really
gotten really big.
Oh, he's massive now.
Yeah.
He's massive. He's got I think 2 or 3 on Netflix.
Yeah.
and legit and
And it helped
here's
that
my theory.
He told Piers Morgan to fuck off. That blasted him up another notch.
I'll tell Piers Morgan to fuck off. Here's my theory, Jim. Okay, this is my bit I'm working on. So like the one thing that really helps Jim, by the way, not to like take away at all from anyone's stand-up.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, one of the things that really does help Jim is he's got a great gun bit. So anytime there's a school shooting, that one bit goes viral.
Right.
Okay. So
Right, because it's like, this is the guy who's saying what we're all thinking, like, and he's making it into comedy, and yeah.
So the bit I want to write is every time there's a police shooting,
Right.
I'm going to write a pro Black Lives Matters, pro Blue Lives Matters bit where I just argue both sides to each other, but don't say anything. But both sides hear it and agree and post it.
Right. Now, you haven't figured out exactly what the bit is.
I haven't figured the bit out.
But again, we're at the concept phase.
And it somehow includes shark attacks, like all the stuff that goes viral.
See, I've tried that and I couldn't do it. My pro-cancer bit is just not going as planned.
I have a bit that I told in Canada, and I was. By the way, I'm not going to say it at all. Never mind. I think it's a bad idea.
Why?
Anyway, because it's probably illegal. So
you think so?
Yeah, let's just pass on it.
Okay.
But that End of the World podcast we did with Rogan, in that I'm sure.
Oh, is that the one where it was all you guys together?
Yeah.
Like a ton of you?
That's right. That's right. Was it the election night or something? Or that's fun.
Yeah.
I remember the next day I went over to Rogan's to do a podcast. We were doing a podcast in the morning, and or in the afternoon. And Jamie was like, he had unlisted the video. It was unlisted, and it had only been up for like 8 hours. And Jamie's like, this has gotten like 800,000 views already. And Rogan's like, pull it down. And I was like, pull it down. 800,000 views. I was like, I'd suck my mom's tits for that. And I started a sitcom called Jim Fucks His Mom Again. Do you remember your joke about that?
Yeah.
And so, but they were like, we'll repost it. It'll get those again. That's how big Rogan's podcast is.
Well, why did they pull it down?
Because it was, the audio was kind of fucked. It wasn't perfect.
Oh, so they were just like, let's pull it down. And
they're like, if we're going to put it in perpetuity, we might as well have perfect audio for it. And so they changed it. It was just coming out of one speaker.
Oh.
Yeah, but in that one, when Trump gets elected, as soon as he gets elected, everyone's booing and freaking out, and I go, this is the clip that'll go viral for me, is I go, hey guys, look at the glass half full. At least we're going to get to see an assassination, and if something happens to Trump, I guarantee you that's fucking gong, 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 gong.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good.
That's not the one you want.
That's not the one you want.
That wasn't
but you're
what you
high,
needed.
you're drunk on stage with Stanhope.
Yeah, in the moment, though, that wasn't. In the moment, I see where it came from, but you don't need that on the record.
But I'll still take the under. No one's gonna be shocked if it happens.
Oh my god, we should take a break.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta go give my car keys to the valet.
Oh, where'd you leave your car? Because we just Uber here because it was so early.
I just parked it in the street. There was a note that said, call Sam. Like right where valet is, I just left it there with my keys on the. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's in the
I hope
garage.
you left it in West Hollywood. That's where they all have his number.
Is that a local reference?
You bet.
All right, we are live in LA.
I have to plug one thing.
Yes.
Tickets on sale for the Borgata this Friday. My tickets are on sale for August the 7th. I have 2 shows on a Saturday going on, and I'm going. I don't know when this is, but I'm doing Amsterdam and I'm doing Norway.
Oh,
and tickets are going on sale. I don't know when. The poster says it. I tweeted it. It's I don't speak Dutch. 17/3 at 10 a.m. That's where they go on sale. I don't know what the fuck this means.
We'll retweet it at Jim and Sam Show.
Wait,
31. Wait, what is this? 31 May del Mervert. What the fuck does that mean? When am I there?
Here.
May 31st.
May what?
May 31st.
Thank you.
Oh, it says you're in Omaha, March 31st and April 1st. Oh, that's me. I'm sorry. Wait, can I tell you real quick before you go to break? Can I tell you the joke I said in the elevator yesterday at a pitch meeting that no one laughed at?
Sure.
Yes.
There's a guy named Bert Van Buren or something. He created The Amazing Race, and I met him. His name's Bert, so I introduced myself. I said, I never meet Berts. I got to meet you. I'm Bert. And so we're in the elevator, and then he gets out, and then the guy who's pitching with, this guy Sean, I don't know what TV show they were pitching, we're at ABC, is a full elevator. And someone goes, who was that? And he goes, his name's Bert. He created The Amazing Race. And they're like, he's got an accent. And he's like, oh, he's from Austria. And I go, I know a guy from Austria who tried to create The Amazing Race. Didn't go so well. Nothing. Nothing.
I mean, that's really quick.
Yeah, and it's also shocking that a Holocaust joke wouldn't fly in Hollywood in an elevator.
All right, I'm going to go move my car.
Did you get your plug out, Jim?
I think it's May 31st. I think Travis...
it is May 31st.
May 31st, and then probably tickets are on sale Friday at 10.
Yes, with utter disgust, Travis is informing me that I don't speak Dutch. Travis was like, May 31st.
It's logic, isn't it,
MEI
Travis?
is probably May.
What's that?
MEI is probably
probably
May.
May. And then Vercoop is probably on sale. And then 17.3 is March 17th.
And he makes a good point there. When we get back,
Mr. International, Vercoop.
I really want to talk about the intro to your special. I know that it's a surprise for people, so maybe if you haven't watched the special yet, you'll turn off the radio for a little bit or something, because I do want people to be surprised. But we've got to talk about it.
Yeah, and I want to thank all the fans who were there. Who did at this point? It's been up for 24 hours or whatever. It's been up, or a little bit more. But the fact that fans, a couple people mentioned it, but they didn't blow it, and really, it's appreciated.
Yeah,
but at this point, it's out there and it's already on YouTube and stuff. But
so we'll talk about it because I'm sure it's a good story. I want to talk about the cab ride over here, which we didn't get into, and I want to talk about what I saw in the credits of the special as well.
Oh, good.
Yes, I think that should all come up. Stay tuned. We'll be
Bert
back
Kreischer
with Bert Kreischer.
Our pal.
Yes. Stay right there. Welcome
we're back on the radio. I love that Bobo promo.
This isn't so
that
funny.
Made me so happy. Sam had to walk out there because Bert was coming back up from putting his car, so my mic was on for a while. So I think I was giggling.
You were cackling.
Yeah, it was very funny
the whole time. Welcome back.
Snoodle have this.
We're live in Los Angeles for one more day. We'll be back live in New York tomorrow.
Typical Wednesday in LA.
Hoping we would escape that. Oh, we haven't heard it all week.
Yeah, we are back. I kind of wish we were staying for a couple more days, but I get we got to go back. I
It's fun out here. I like it out here.
You do, right?
Yeah.
Let's stay a couple days.
I can't. I'm leaving in a couple hours.
Oh, all right.
Oh, someone's got a kid.
It's true.
Yeah, he's got the babysitter.
I did, by the way. People were asking, because I told on Monday I was talking about how I almost missed my flight out here.
Yep.
And people were asking why the fuck would I have a paper boarding pass when you can just do it on your phone?
I don't do it on my phone ever.
It's the fucking worst watching people do boarding passes on their phones. Yeah. Well, no, the thing went black. Oh, no, I think trying to figure out how. Oh, no, it's in landscape now. It's the worst. The technology is not even sort of there.
It's annoying, yeah. When they can do it with your finger, when you can go like, Dirk, then I'll do it. Until then, I'm going to hand this.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do is when me and Ken would get on a plane to crumple his boarding pass. Because his fucking OCD. He's like, I like a nice presentation.
Well, speaking of, and Bert Kreischer is here.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yep.
And Bert's hanging out. You can follow
Lovely
him
guy.
on Twitter at Bert Kreischer. BertBert.com.
BertBert.com.
Okay. Speaking of lovely presentations.
Holy fucking shit.
Oh,
So Jim Norton's Netflix special is
If
out
you haven't
now.
seen it, sorry to interrupt you. If you don't want to spoil it, just you can turn the radio off for 10 minutes. We're just going to talk about it a little bit. If you want to, I would recommend turning it off and then just watching it.
Or if you can, where you're at, get on your phone or your iPad and watch the intro right now.
Is there any way we could talk about it without giving it away?
No, I want to know how it happened.
I just I'll tell you why you should turn your radio off, because I knew nothing about it, but we teased it on the last one. So I go down, call my wife, get our Netflix login, and I start watching it in the elevator, and I end up in the bathroom watching the end of it, and someone's taking a shit, and I'm going, holy fucking best intro I've ever seen to a comedy special.
Thanks, man.
Without a question. All I'm saying to myself, and I said it to Sam, I can't believe that you're having any question in your mind that this isn't going to change your life globally. That is the best intro that's ever been done for a special.
Oh, thanks,
ever.
man. Thank you.
You should definitely, after maybe, I don't know, a week or two, I don't know what you would wait for.
Right.
You should put the intro out just as a YouTube thing or on Facebook or
it'll
something.
go viral in a second.
Yeah.
I think Netflix is going to... Netflix wants to do that, I think. I don't know. Whatever they want to do. I trust their judgment on this one. We wanted to keep it secret just for the premiere, like the first people who saw it, and then let people,
I can't believe... Because my wife, so I didn't get to. I think I was with WWE the day you
were,
taped,
you were on the
unfortunately. But my wife went to the special, and she was like blown away by the intro. And we consciously, like, I knew you had showed me a couple clips of it before, and I knew what
You're
it
one
was.
of the only people I showed.
And candidly, that's why. When De Niro brought up Norton, I think a lot of people were wondering, a couple months ago when De Niro brought up Norton's name on the Tonight Show, we specifically did not mention it on the air because we didn't want to remind anybody of the De Niro-Norton connection before the special.
I asked Sam, because in the special, the opening, it's I got Ricky Gervais started it. It originally, it's I don't know how to even. I'm not a good storyteller,
Well,
so help me through this. But I will say this: I started working on that little thing I had on the comedian that film. It was literally it's about it's about just saying yes to things and being present.
Yeah.
They asked me to do one little scene in The Comedian, where it's me, Esty, Hannibal Buress, a couple people. Like De Niro comes in, I have like one line, "Hey Jackie," Nick DiPaolo, and then he leaves, and then he has one more line later, and that's it.
Right.
That's my entire fucking. It's 2 lines in The Comedian that are throwaway lines.
But you just say yes. It's not going to hurt you
It's
to
gonna
do
be
it.
great. You show up.
Yes.
You fucking be a part of it. So I'm sitting there at the table. It's Edie Falco. It's myself, and again, it's just fun to do. And De Niro's walked by in rehearsal. We're yelling dirty lines at him, and he's laughing.
Oh, Jimmy!
He's enjoying.
That's Edie Falco. She's doing that thing. You ever see the episode when Artie's wife, Artie Bucco's wife, is her like a housekeeper lady for the party, and she does that thing with her hand where she rubs her fingers together, telling her to come, and there's just this look on Artie Bucco's wife's face. I'm just like, oh, that fucking cunt.
I never
Like
saw The Sopranos.
What?
I never saw one episode.
That's all I think of when I see Edie Falco. It's just like rubbing her fingers together and giving the look like, come here, we need you. We need you.
She had literally one line in this scene that she just sat there with us. It was so fun, and she had to watch us yell shit at him as he walked by. I just yelled some stupid thing at him, but Taylor Hackford, the director, loved that some of the things I was yelling. For some reason, he kept saying, "Do more of that. Do more of that." So
By
whatever.
the way, the special is called Mouthful of Shame.
On Netflix, Mouthful of Shame, and I am explaining how
the intro came
about. And so Taylor's like, do more of that, do more of that. So I did. So afterwards, I was talking to him, and he liked me, and I was not in the film after that. There was some
Taylor, you mean you were talking
Taylor
to?
Hackford. Some stand-up comedians were doing a set, and Hannibal was the host. He was supposed to be in the movie introducing the comedians, but Hannibal had to go do a gig, so they shot Hannibal's part where he introduced.
What gig did he have to do?
No. He did his filmed part.
Okay.
He shot-
It sounded like he was.
I got a spot up at the comic strip, guys.
No, Hannibal had to introduce Jackie, which was De Niro.
Okay.
So they shot that part first, but they still had to shoot live comedians, and the host in that was not going to be filmed. So Taylor said, "Do you want to host that show? It's going to start at like midnight or whatever, and De Niro's going to do a spot on it." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'll host that show." I didn't care. I wasn't going to be in the movie. I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
So while I'm hosting that show, Taylor liked my stand-up, and he decided he wanted to keep a little bit of it in the movie. He just liked the way I was thinking, and he was so nice to me in front of the whole audience. He was like, "How about I have for Jim Norton? That was great." He really treated me well.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's a couple of little things they have to reshoot in The Comedian with De Niro's stand-up. There's a couple of things that they've changed, and they just want to shoot small pieces. Most of it was staying what they had originally shot. So they wanted a couple of suggestions from comedians. So we went in and we were sitting there watching the movie, throwing out a couple of lines here and there, and that was it. And Taylor liked some of the lines I was writing. So he called me, and he was like, "I like what you're doing, and blah, blah, blah. Send in some more. I'm going to send them to Bob." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we went one day, and he just asked me to come in. So it was just me, Taylor Hackford, and I think one of the other writers, Louis Friedman. And then he goes, "I'm going to go to a meeting at Bob's. Let me see, can you come?"
And this Bob person is
It's De Niro.
Robert De Niro.
It's De Niro.
Yeah.
He goes, "Can you come?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can come."
You didn't have any other plans?
No.
Hannibal went like, I have a spot at 7.
Yeah, I'd love to. If he can drop me at stand up New York, otherwise I'm not doing it. So he goes, "Can you come?" So I go to a meeting with Taylor and Lewis and this other guy, and we're all sitting in De Niro's office in Tribeca. And he walks in, and it's him, and he's got his beard, and he's sitting there, and I was so nervous because he not only are we in the room, Art Linson, who's the producer, and there's somebody else on the phone. I mean, I'm so overwhelmed by this whole thing that I'm almost comfortable. Mm-hmm. Like it's
right. You're past the point of no return.
I got my picture. I did the lines in the movie. That in the moment we all talked to De Niro after for a few minutes. We took pictures with him, so I had it. I had the moment. So this was just, I can't fucking believe this is happening.
This is so surreal that you're not even. You're past nervous.
I'm looking at pictures of him and his family.
Right.
On the wall. I'm pissing in De Niro's bathroom.
Right.
He walks in, we talk, we have a meeting. It goes pretty well, throwing out lines. Some he likes, some he doesn't like. A few days later, Taylor says, "I'm going to go back to Bob's office. Do you want to come again?" So this is now in De Niro's apartment building, in a conference room in his apartment building. And it's just me, Taylor, and him. It's just the three of us the night before the shoot. So I go into the the meeting. He comes in late. He's lovely. He's like, Jim, I'm sorry I'm late. He gives me a hug. I can't believe this is happening. And he sits down and we bounce a bunch of lines off him. And we're spending about an hour together, me, him, and Taylor, talking about lines.
It's just the three, though.
Just the
it's
three
not
of us.
like they pulled in a bunch of comics to try out lines. It's you.
It was.
Are you holding back at all on like anything politically correct? Just so you're like, I don't want to.
No, he liked the rougher stuff.
Really?
No, I had to fucking suggest like that's a little rough. He wanted to do some fucking really dirt. I'm like, I don't know if you want to do that one. It was a reference to something that happened in the movie. It was about fucking the kid. I'm like, it's not gonna work. It's too much. I could tell him. And when he walked in, I because he had a beard the first time and he didn't have a beard this time when he walked in.
Yeah.
I just told him he looked much more fuckable and he laughed.
Really?
Yeah. I told him I was like, you look much more fuckable today, and he actually laughed.
That's a chance you're taking.
Yeah. That was
Wow,
a
that's balls.
That's a roll.
Yeah, that was
That's
a
putting
balls.
your dick on the table going, do we have nails and a hammer
That
around
was,
here?
I'll never have a chance to say this to him again, and it flew out of my mouth, and he laughed. So we have the meeting.
How many hacks heard that and then they're going to run into Nero and go, I want to fuck you?
But they have to do the reshoot, and it's kind of a closed set. I really want to get on the reshoot. I want to be there for it.
Yeah.
But they, I don't know if it's appropriate to ask because I've already contributed. And then they asked me, they're like, look, here's the reshoot at this date. Can you come? And I said I wasn't available. And they kind of tried to work the reshoot into a day that was working for him where I could also attend.
Why weren't you available?
I was
You had
away.
a show with
I think
Hannibal.
I was away, and there was tickets sold. I literally couldn't get out of it.
okay.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where people had bought tickets, and I thought I was gonna have to miss the reshoot, but it worked out that he couldn't do it. So I got to go to the reshoot. We spent the whole day with him. It was probably like a 9-hour day, where he's going up, he's doing stand up. And he's coming off, and you're actually sitting there, and he's consulting. What do you think? It was good. Blah, blah, blah.
Did you have a good time doing that?
I literally, you don't even realize what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, and my by the way, I tried 4 years ago to get him to open my special and introduce me, but we never heard back. They'd be like, yeah, he's busy. So I'm spending the day with him, and we're helping him with lines, and he's taking suggestions, and we're going to Taylor Hackford asking him. So the day is completed. We all hug and say goodbye. He's really sweet. And I know it's not appropriate to ask, I want you to do this in my special. Like, I can't believe this has happened.
But you already, so at what point did it occur to you, oh my gosh, like there is some form of a relationship happening. It would be great if I could get him to help me out with the intro.
I would say from the minute we started in his office and I was actually talking to him when he knew my name. When
So
he
the
walked
first
in,
meeting.
And I knew he liked me. And like, yeah, well, by the second one, definitely. I was like, wow, I wish I could.
After you told him he was fuckable and he laughed, then it's like there's a familiarity there.
A possibility,
Sure.
and he was comfortable seeing me. He wasn't like, it wasn't weird. It wasn't like, what do you do? He was
And
like,
when
oh,
are
hey,
you gonna,
Jim.
when are you gonna have timing like this too? That you have a special that needs an intro, and you know this isn't gonna be a lifelong relationship because that's how movies work. But you have this friendship at this moment with De Niro.
A momentary relationship.
Right.
However, I will say that if there are people in this business who would immediately go, this is how I capitalize, this is how I further my career, that's not Jim.
Right.
That's not Jim.
I also think that that's not a great strategy long term.
A lot of guys succeed.
Is that right?
I would never. And again, I asked Jonathan, how long ago did we actually ask him the first time? And I think it was 2 specials ago. We had asked, and it was just impossible. So
Plus, you didn't have a relationship
none.
with him.
It was just, do you want to introduce me? So we wrapped the shoot for the day. We say goodbye, and the producers are very nice, and Taylor's wonderful. And of course, I don't ask. I mean, it's inappropriate. And this guy, I'm working with him on something that's his project. I'm not going to go, because he did my friend. It just would have been pathetic.
Right.
So Taylor,
I did this for you. Maybe you do something for me.
wouldn't even have occurred to me. Honestly, even as crazy as I am, I'm not a dope. So I go, and I asked, Taylor's assistant became a friend of mine. She was really, really nice. And I was talking to her. I'm like, what do you think? I'm like, I want him to do this. I know this is kind of douchey. What's the proper process to
What's
go
the
through?
protocol?
How do I ask?
Damn it, this is a lesson in the entertainment business right now.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that fuck things up
Yep.
by asking right away.
I'm like,
Yep.
how do I do this? Because I really did. In that moment, I was grateful for everything that had happened. And if it had ended there, it would have been still one of the great show business experiences I've ever had.
Let's keep in mind, like, up to this point in the story, like, everybody needs to remember and watch the intro. And, like, for me, it's like a special intro from the perspective of one of your, like, when you were even more obsessed with celebrity photos because that's calmed down a lot. But when that was like stories that you told, you had one De Niro story, and the only De Niro story you had was you walking up to him, asking for a picture, and him turning you down
and calling him Bob.
Right.
And that became, it was like Bob.
By the way, I mean, this is why like people should go back because you don't really highlight the things that you do well often. You just highlight the negative stuff just because it's who you are. But like there are like classic stories. You going up, Bob, would you take this photo, and him turning you down. Another like one of my favorite stories from like probably 10 or 12 years ago from your stand-up was when you tried to get a photo with Mike Tyson.
That's right.
And you said, but he's the champ.
No, an autograph. I got an autograph. I was in front of the Comedy Cellar, yeah.
And you said, I'm trying to get an autograph from Mike Tyson. They said, Mike's not signing. And Jim goes, but he's the champ.
I said that, but he's the champ.
As an adult, he said this.
I did, and I actually followed him to his Mercedes, and he signed.
And now, like, you're one of Mike Tyson's favorite comedians.
Yeah, Mike treats me nice. He's really
like,
great.
It's pretty amazing the way these things have happened.
It is, and it's because as much as I panic, and I love these guys, in moments where you have to be professional, like if I'm interviewing or if it was this, it's like you got to just do your job in a way, like you can't abandon what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Because I figure if I really like Mike Tyson, and I do, I love him, my best thing I can do is help him promote something by interviewing him properly. And if I really love De Niro, the best thing I can do as a fan is like literally fucking try to be present and come out with jokes that I think are good. And if he wants them, or a suggestion of a performance technique, or like
But you stopped pushing. Like you didn't, like you embarrassed yourself.
Yeah.
But then you don't push and push and push. Like
Yeah.
I want a relationship.
Yeah.
You go back to doing your own thing and just working on being good.
It was a moment in time.
And it comes back to you.
And this thing could not have happened better because it was when I was talking about comedy with him, just discussing it or technique. Like I was trying to get him to go up and do it. Like he's a shy guy, and when I sat down with him with me, him, and Taylor, I'm like, "Do you want to just run the material?" And he goes, "No, you do it," because he's like he likes to say it alive and in a moment. But I knew in that moment I was qualified to be doing what I was doing. It wasn't like I had investigated what it was like to be a police lieutenant or a criminal. I'm like, this I absolutely know exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm comfortable discussing it, and I'm comfortable saying, no, I think this is more. You know what I mean? Because it's what
You have an expertise at something.
Yeah, it's my job for so long.
Yeah.
It just happens that your expertise in the same thing that he's doing can also further your career. No cop that helps De Niro out is going to be like, now I'll make lieutenant.
Right. It's exactly
It's
it.
just a special story. It's not going to push him to the next level.
So where were we? We shoot the.
So you ask his Taylor's
You're
assistant.
talking to
Taylor's assistant.
What's
Jamie.
the protocol
What do I
here?
do?
I've never been more engaged in a fucking story.
Ever.
I'm like so fascinated
Great.
by this.
She said, "What?" I said, "What's the protocol?" And she goes, "Well, Taylor really likes you, and Bob likes you." And she said, "Why don't you ask Taylor?" And again, I don't want to capitalize on it because I was appreciative of what he had done.
But it's good advice because it's not going directly to De Niro.
No, I said to Taylor, look, dude, I not to be a jerk, this is my dream. I've wanted him to, all he has to do, it'll take less than an hour to shoot, is to introduce me on my comedy special. It's all I want. Just, I'll do a one-page thing. It'll take maybe a couple minutes. And he goes, well, Bob liked you. Let me see. So Taylor...
is he going into the room right there when you stand in the...
Oh, he's on the phone. He's on the phone. He goes, let me see. And he goes, best thing I think you could do, he goes, I'll mention it to Bob. Or he goes, no... Maybe he said, go through. He said to me, contact his assistants and see, and I'll mention it to him. Some shit like that. He told me the protocol was to politely. So I wrote an email. I don't know if I have it.
Yeah, see if you.
I'm sorry, I'm not prepared.
No, you have to have it, and I can go through your phone and find it.
I'm sorry if I don't. I'm killing this. Hold on. Let me see if I
think Jason Ellis is here. I invited him to pop in if he wants to hear.
What's
up,
Jason?
Alice? Come on in. We were just talking about Jim's new Netflix special, and he's telling us the story of how he got his intro done. But it's pretty amazing.
I was listening, and I watched it last night.
You did?
Oh, it's fucking amazing, isn't it?
He's looking right now to see if he has. He's looking right now to see if he has the email that he initially sent to try to get De Niro.
Right, because that would have been my very first question when I started watching the special. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I send the email.
Okay.
I send to his assistants, who are really nice, considering who they work for.
Tell fuckable.
They're no, I literally have gotten I've never gotten less sexual vibes from people in my life. So I'm in Australia when I get this response. I wrote it. I'm like, hey, she's like, we'll see. His schedule's crazy. I send the script. It just calls for him to do what he did, which is basically we do this thing and he slaps me and he insults me and that's it. There's no spanking in the script.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay.
None.
I was wondering if you wrote that in.
No.
I'll ask about that.
No. She writes back, Bob would love to do this with you. Sounds awesome.
Wow.
It looks like we could work this in next Thursday or Friday, and this was in September. And Wednesday. Would any of those days work for you and the crew? If not, I'm sure we can make it happen another day.
Jesus Christ. So let me ask you. You're sitting there because you're like you've made a career out of self-loathing. But when you're sitting there, you're in Australia performing comedy, which you probably didn't think you were going to do early on. You're getting an email now from De Niro's assistant that's like, here's some days that work, so I'm legitimately interested, but we will also work around your schedule because we'd love to do it.
I couldn't believe it.
Like, do you have this moment where you're like, I'm at a different place?
No, you're in practical mode. You're like, because there's a job you have to do that. This has to be accomplished.
Yes.
So then it's get the logistics. Let's talk to make sure that they're available. I'm available. It's get everybody in order.
Hold on, you don't have a moment in an elevator by yourself when you get the email that you're like, motherfucker.
Wasn't it instant glory right
You
there?
do. No, it's too overwhelming. It's like you do feel amazed, but I'm like, it's not real until it's shot.
I'm with
until
you.
it's done.
Okay.
That's the same
That's
way
a guy
I'd be.
that's been in show
Yeah.
business for a while, right there.
But because you know what I mean?
I'm calling into the gym and staying on the Ellis show. I got De Niro, baby.
Yeah. This is a yes, but it's not a yes. It's not real until it's
Right.
shot, until it's okay. This is the first step in what is hopefully going to be an amazing moment. That's it. So they say yes.
It's like when you get a gig and you're like, well, we'll see, because they haven't sent like plane tickets yet. And they might just decide not to do it. Okay, well, I got the plane ticket, but I still might get on the plane. They're like, we're not going to do it. Like, until it's actually happening, you can't celebrate.
You cannot celebrate until it's done. So we set the date, and it comes together. And the script, there's a lot of lines in the script that weren't in the final. Because again, you shoot a lot of. I have 30 minutes of footage with him, just kind of doing this thing.
And you just have that now.
Yeah.
What a nice thing to have.
Put that up on...
No, I wouldn't put all of it. I did put one at the very end. I put an outtake. I did a real cannonball run thing, and I put an outtake at the end of the special. There was
I fucking missed that.
Oh yeah, at the very end of the special.
Scrolling through.
It's at the it's after I walk off.
Skip all this boring
you walked
stand-up
off-
shit. Won't be watching
Yeah.
the stand-up anymore.
Jim by himself, Jim by himself, Jim by himself. Oh, Jim with De Niro.
You'll see when I walk off. Yeah, go back a little bit.
I got it.
You can go back a little bit. Just don't play the last joke if you can help it. Just play the music.
So the intro, though, for those that haven't seen it and want us to explain, like, it starts with Ricky Gervais. And by the way, the Ricky Gervais thing by itself is funny enough.
I think they're all three of them are amazing.
Pause that. Yeah, Ricky Gervais.
And Ricky's like, at first he's trying to blow you up, and then he's insulting you, and it's
Yes.
really, really funny.
By the way, it's very... if you just did Ricky Gervais, I love the...
By itself.
Ricky's was meant to be one page. He's such a fucking master. He made that so funny. He improv that last part. We chopped a big piece of what he said out, which was hilarious. But because that it was almost a double climax, because he's like, he goes, his suggestion was dismiss me and go, nah. So I have a reason to come at you. So I'm like, okay, I did. And then the whole little peeled turtle with AIDS, Ricky improv that.
That's awesome.
And it was amazing. And he improv'd it.
So
And I wanted Louis.
When you do Ricky, do you have De Niro?
De Niro shot first.
Okay, so you wanted all three from the beginning.
I wanted De Niro, and then my original one, I wanted Louis, and to do what he did in that, which was just basically slam the door in my face.
By the way, even the Louis thing by itself would have worked.
That's what I'm
right?
saying. I thought all three of them were such... I'm like, fucking hell. And to me, it's like, I don't think that you asked them. I think that they're your friends and they did that for you. That's what it's...
Right.
That
When
is
I see it, I go, man, he's fucking friends with those guys.
That's just who he hangs out with.
Yeah.
We're just
I'm
goofing
like,
around.
Yeah, because he slammed the door in your face. Like, he slammed the door in your face because he fucking likes you. He said you got AIDS because he's your fucking friend.
Those guys, you're right. That was why Ricky and Louis did that. That was
Well,
a pure
thought,
friendship.
I thought Bob so because I was listening on the way in, was also your friend. Because, I mean, he spanked... I'm not going to... I don't want to spoil.
We did say it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he does spank me
Your
in it.
fucking ass is hanging out. He's slapping it. That's high
amazing.
level. Yeah, I'm like, I didn't know that he would do that for anybody.
But I wound up going to... the way that we do is, the way we shoot this.
Yeah.
Let's do it in his office. That was their suggestion.
But so go back. You wanted all three.
I wanted... Well, my original thought... Ricky, I didn't even consider.
Johnny Depp.
I wanted Al Sharpton.
Oh my God!
I wanted Al Sharpton.
Which one's that?
He's a black activist. He's very kind of anti-white people.
He's got he promotes boxing matches. His hair's all sticked up.
Kind of long at the back.
Yeah.
He's kind of fat.
That was an original
He
thought.
used to be fat. Now he's skinny, but has a big head.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's also lots of terrible things have been said about him by
me.
Jim Norton. Yeah,
But I wanted him to have. I literally wanted. De Niro was the goal, but I wanted Al to open it, and I wanted to be sitting there and going like, I really want to do this, and I wanted him to go, I don't want to do it, and I was going to go, why? Because I don't like you, and then go to Louis. That was what I wanted.
Yeah.
But again, we got.
I don't like.
That was what I wanted it to be, but I don't even think we reached that. I did the roast with him. I'm like, maybe he'll do it. All right.
Yeah.
So with dinner, we get to the office. We're shooting in his office, and his assistants have taken all of his family photos, and they've moved his entire office around because they didn't want his family in the photo.
Sure.
And I'm like, what the fuck did you do? I'm like, did they know? I'm like, does he know that we didn't touch his stuff? And she's like, well, we'll tell him when he gets here. I'm like, he doesn't even know that you rearranged his office? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh no, I'm panicking that he is gonna fucking freak when he walks in the door.
Because any little thing going wrong at this stage in the game cancels everything.
It cancels. So the day before, they called me and they're like, Bob is going to want to talk to you on the phone. So I get a call from De Niro the night before the show.
Oh, now you got to deal with talking to Bob on the phone. Oh,
Yeah, but it could be bad because I could see him as like a scary dad kind of a guy to you.
Or if he didn't like the script, because I'd sent the script. And in the script, he calls me, he insults me a lot. He called me a little worm. And at the end of the conversation, we talked about it. He goes, you want to do this, that? He goes, yeah, maybe, I could be a little nicer to you. I don't have to be. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, but we could try that version. But I'm like, trust me, when we do this, they'll enjoy it.
Okay.
I know my fans. They'll like you being me. He goes, all right, we'll do it. Whatever.
because he doesn't know. He doesn't want to be perceived as an
As a
asshole.
dick. But he doesn't understand that will play very well.
Right.
Quick question: do you save his number and put it Bob?
I didn't have his number. Bob called me, and it was through his assistants, of course. But would I have? You bet.
Bobby D.
So I'm at his office, and I'm panicking, and he was pretty on time. I mean, we were all set up, and we got there early to be ready for him. Scripts are ready. Cue cards are ready, just so he doesn't have to do any work. It's like, he's in the middle of fucking another film already. So he walks in, says hello to everybody, and his assistants go, can we ask everybody just to step out just so Jim and Bob can talk for a couple minutes?
This is a stupid question, by the way, but you wrote the script.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him, and he and I are talking, how are you? And we sit down a little bit, just talk about the family. He's going through a move and fixing the office up and just chatter. And then we're reading through the script a little bit, and I'm giving him direction on what I'm going to want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to want you to slap me. He's like, okay. So we talk for 10 minutes. The crew comes back in, and we start shooting the script. And it was, and I wanted him to spank me, but
That was in your head.
Oh my God! I just said that will be so. I knew the slaps were going to seem redundant, but I knew it was going to be quick cuts and it was going to be funny.
Sure.
I knew that was going to work, and I'm like, I want him to spank me. So I did a couple of things. I had the director buy a brush. Mm-hmm. I'm like, in case he doesn't want to spank my bare ass, I wanted a bare ass spanking.
Because it doesn't work if it's not bare ass.
No, but I mean, I would have taken it the other way.
But it's risky because it's like my butt and Robert De Niro's face. That's asking a lot on the same screen.
A lot.
Even if he doesn't touch it.
Even if he doesn't touch it,
It
he may
might
not
be
want
more
do
to
it.
ask than ask him just to do it at all.
Yes.
Yeah. If it was just like all you have to do is spank me, what? No, I'll intro your special, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, it's
I'm
like
not gonna be
getting
on
denied
screen
a
with your
blowjob.
ass.
I did tell him.
While you're holding
I
the
learned that from a
ponytail.
comedian last night.
I asked him. I think we were going through the routine. He was slapping me. I was just joking with him, and I'm like, at one point, I'm like, I'm going to ask you to spank me. I'm like, but you don't have to touch my ass. We got you a brush, and he laughed. He's like, I don't care. All right, whatever. He didn't give a fuck. I'm like,
Wow, because he was having a good time.
He might do it. He might fucking do it. So we go through the scene a bunch of times. First we're on his close-ups. He's doing it. I'm asking him how to I'm giving him direction on what I want him to do. It was really weird to be able to say to him, hey, can we do it like this? We try that. And he was so cool. He didn't care. He wanted to do it right. And he's asking me, he's like, is that good? Is that okay? Is that what you want?
Oh my God.
I mean, he was amazing. It was.
Did you give him any critiques at all?
Oh yeah, but
You
not
did?
not critiques. It wasn't a critique. It was like because I saw it a certain way. So I you know what I mean?
You'd appreciate that, though, wouldn't you?
Sure, it was never critiques. I mean, it was
It's just like we could do it this way, that way. And that is like, this is so surreal that you just plunge right into the zone. So it's like, you're not even thinking like, oh, this is De Niro and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. You're just getting the job done.
This is my special. He's introducing me. He is doing me a massive favor. But I know that he wants to, like, it sounds corny, but he wants to serve what it is we need to do. Like, I know why that's why he's there.
Yeah.
He doesn't fucking need to do this. He's doing this because he appreciated me helping him. He was being a great guy. That was it. So I knew he wanted to do it the way I would want him to do it. He was awesome. So we were going through it, and the clip I show at the end is he really made me laugh because I had written worm, you ugly little worm, and he improv slug. And it was so much.
Can we watch it?
Yeah, you could. Oh, I'm sorry. This is an actual outtake I just decided to put at the end of the thing.
And listen, if I happen to have my mic close to it, I apologize.
It's just
Now,
him-
put-
it's
Put
just
the
him-
speaker,
Don't-
speaker on
don't-
the mic.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's just
Sam.
us
Thanks,
talking
Sam.
to him.
Well, you don't
First
have
time
it
doing
on.
I'm no shit. I haven't hit play yet.
Yeah.
I'm
Move it
fucking
up.
loading it up.
You should punch him.
Credits.
I went to bed right here.
What should I do? Left hand now, like this?
Yeah, you
or-
really give it to me.
Okay, say it with conviction, you ugly slug. And then I start. Then I slap you again. I'm right. Okay, so the left one.
Yeah.
And then slap, and then say it with conviction, you ugly slug. And then again.
Yeah.
Okay.
How great is it that he had just...
I do.
Yeah, and he goes, oh, yeah.
But he just attached it because he said it twice, so he's attached himself to Slug now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
funny
yeah.
'cause
That's how he sees
You can
you.
see that on Jim's face that he's
Yeah.
attached it to Slug, and he's like, I'm super pumped that he's ad-libbed this, but at the same time, he sees Slug in my face more than Worm.
At that moment, I think the craziness of what was happening hit me. That was a real laugh because I couldn't believe he just changed it to something meaner and funnier that worked better. Like he said slug, and it hit me as just amazing. So we did the shoot, the spanking, the slapping. He was very gentle. He's like, "Do you want me to not?"
I
hit you?"
noticed that.
He's like, "Do you want?" No, but when he hit me, he really hit me. He's like, "Do you want me to?" He missed me a couple times. I'm like, "No. I want you to fucking
When he's slapping you in the face or ass?
face."
Right.
I'm like, "I want you to hit me." And he's like, "All right, you sure?" And that was why he joked at the end and he threw that mock punch. I'm like, "I want you to fucking hit me." And you could see in the beginning of if you watch the opening of the special, because it was after so many takes, look at my face. The left side of my face is red. It's because that was on like the 2-shot. He had been slapping the shit out of me. We had
I'm
been
surprised you
taking
didn't try to tattoo his handprint on your face.
My face is so red, and it was because we had to piece together a whole bunch of different takes because he does it different every time.
Sure.
So he slapped me in the face probably 30 times, and he really cracked me. It was in the 2-shot. It was on my close-up. It was on his close-up.
But did you enjoy it?
Every time he was like, "Is that okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." He would crack me. He hit me really fucking hard a couple of times. He's like, "I'm sorry, you okay? You all right?" I'm like, "I'm fine." And then it came time for the spanking, and I'm like, "Fuck this, we're just gonna do it." And I'm like, "Do you want the brush?" He's like, I'm all right." So I first was over his knee. So I get over his knee.
Oh, that's amazing.
The original spanking was over his knee, and I'm laying on his knee, and I said to him, "Look, I'll try not to come on your leg." And he laughed. He really.
How long had the shoot gone on at this point?
This about 30 minutes.
Okay.
And I could actually closer to when we had him for an hour, and I couldn't leave that come in the leg line in because I knew there was a line in the special where I go, "I'm going to come," and I couldn't blow that line. So
Just funny that you improv that and made him laugh.
he laughed, yeah, and he does the spanking. He's doing it a little soft, but the way the camera
That's even
works-
worse.
The way the he says he goes because it's supposed to be stop being so nervous. You dirty, nervous boy.
Yeah.
It was how I was. But at first he did it like you're dirty, nervy, a little soft. I'm like, let's do it. If we could do it clipped, boom, boom, boom. And he did it like that. And then he suggested we were going to do one in the turnaround. And he goes, "Let's do it standing up." Like I guess he didn't want me on his lap, but he goes, "Would that be be okay? And I'm like, yeah, we could try that. So we turn around, and I'm getting ready to get back over his lap. And I'm like, oh, Bob said he wanted to do a standing up one. Let's just do one standing. Because I wanted to honor, I didn't want to do it standing up, but I wanted to honor what his suggestion.
But if your pants are down, so your dick's out.
No, my dick. It was first of all,
just tucked down below.
Yeah, I wouldn't have my dick out, but plus my ass looked plumper.
A lot of cheek.
Lot of cheek.
For no dick, a lot of cheek.
I see.
Yeah.
There was no dick.
The maximum cheek without the top of your dick coming out of your pants.
You have to be artful to get that done.
Yeah, and I could see how I want my knob to come out in front of Robert De Niro.
Right.
I couldn't have it happen because it was in his office. It was just too much.
Yeah.
And I said, let's just do the stand. I didn't think we were going to use it, but I said, let's just do the one that Bob wanted standing. And he did it a couple of times. And I'm like, we watched it in the edit, and the clipping, you dirty. I'm like, it's fucking perfect. Like, he just understands how to do dialogue. It was so funny. Like he goes through things weird. Like he works through it while like on camera. Like I would rehearse before. He's like looking. He goes, "You gonna have cards? I'm not gonna remember that." I'm like, "Yeah." And he's just he's just doing it in his process. And the way he introduced me, which was the Jim Norton, he had done it smaller first because that for him felt natural. To go, please welcome Jim Norton, and it was great. And I'm like, "Can we do one?" He goes, "The only thing is be too big." I'm like, "It might be too big, but I think it will work." And he did. He was fucking great, dude. It's
amazing.
Fucking Louis was the hardest one to get.
Is that right?
Louis was the hardest one to get. He was impossible to schedule. And then one day I'd be like, "Could you do it?" And he's like, "I could do it Monday." So and then I did my podcast. I was late. I made him wait. It was I didn't mean it. I was in traffic. I was fucking panicking. Louis just rode his city bike up, and it took him 10 minutes. And so I'm sorry if I don't tell stories very well, but
you did tell this one great.
And that's why when De Niro went on the Tonight Show and he was talking about the comedian, and there was a moment where he attacked somebody in the audience, and he goes, and that's why the comedians who were helping me, like Louis Friedman and Jessica Kirsten and Jim Norton, but we didn't play that on the show because I didn't want any attachment
that
to him.
sounds more like Liam Neeson than
it was not a good
Robert
impression.
De Niro,
not a good impression. But that was a pretty good impression of him talking about me.
Right.
But that's why I told Sam, like, look, this is why I told the cast this. Like, I'm like, please don't. Let's not tweet this out because he's in my opening. I don't want to blow it.
So after you shoot the De Niro part, because even if you don't get Louis, you probably will. But God forbid you don't get Louis, you've got the De Niro chunk, right? You're good.
Yeah.
So like, what is that feeling when you go back to your apartment when you're by yourself now? Like, how are you feeling after that is done?
My first feeling, because they sent me everything, like by the next day I had all the footage, was I was panicking because it was from the camera audio. We were mic'd, but it wasn't the good audio, so it was dropping out. And I'm like, did we blow the audio? Did the sound guy blow the fucking audio? Did the sound guy blow the audio? And they're like, no, relax, Jim.
That's why they don't ever send rough cuts to talent.
You're right.
What are these numbers on the corner? Is this number going to be there?
But I had to edit it, so it was. I just wanted to see it, and I watched it. And then I had the real audio, and I was like, okay, this is something. We can build on this. This is good. And I had a longer version of it, and we didn't get Louis yet. And then I'm like, I wanted something before Louis. So I thought it was funny to cut to Louis, and then him close the door, and then cut out of Louis.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to say a word.
Right.
And I originally had it where I go to Louis, I go, hey, man. He opens the door, and he slams it in my face. And then I'm like, let me just try asking him. And then he slams it. And then Louis, again, such a smart dude, he's like, keep talking, and then I'll slam it when I want to. So I talked for an extra few seconds, and that was why Louis had this weird look on his face and the door closed. And that was the take we used.
That was a great choice because as I saw Louis, I go, he's going to slam the door in his face. But then you kept talking, and I went, oh, what's he going to say? And then he shut the door, and I went, fucking
it looked like he was going to respond.
But you don't have, like the day of the De Niro shoot, you don't go home and have this, like, I'm the fucking man, I just did that feeling?
It's not,
you know what I mean?
That's a big part to you, isn't it, Sam? You want to get to that bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some kind of glory because Jim doesn't have a lot of glorious moments.
He doesn't have a lot of. He said glorious every fucking day. He's on here.
But he doesn't feel it.
Yeah, because he's sober. They're sober, Sam. That's what sober people do: is they live a beautiful moment, and then sit on their bed, crisscross applesauce, and go, "My day is done. Time to go to bed." That's when I go. We're gonna try that new sleeping pill with a fucking fifth of vodka and see how tonight spins out. No, we're going to the marijuana shop.
Yeah, no, I didn't feel.
But Jim doesn't have his feelings of accomplishment when he accomplishes something. Like we all see it, and Jim doesn't sit there and be like, "Yes, I did."
No. I did feel that way once I saw it, and I had to. You become again. It's overwhelming, but there's still a job to do. I have to edit this now. It has to be good. I have to finish. Like it's not about not being grateful for it. It's I got to finish this.
Yeah.
And it has to be good. Just having De Niro isn't enough. It has to play funny. I want the audience to laugh. Like I know I'm showing this to a live audience in a theater. Like they have to laugh. So Louis agrees to do it. I called him and he goes, "Yeah, I'll be happy to, man. Let's just fuck up." But he's hard to schedule. And I said, "Let me ask Ricky if he'll do," because I thought Ricky would be perfect in the beginning, and I love him so much, and he's so funny. I just emailed him, and he wrote me back. He's like, "Yeah, sure. Send me the script." So I sent him the script, but he wasn't going to be in town. He was in town, and Justin and Eric Stangl, who were working at Harry Connick Jr., he was doing Harry's show as a talk show. Ricky was a guest. So I said, "Could you help me?" And he goes, "Hey, why don't we do it in... we could do it that day." And Justin and Eric volunteered. They go, "We'll get you a room. We'll get you a room that you can do it in, and maybe Ricky's green room."
That's awesome.
Justin and Eric fucking stepped up and helped me so much. And Ricky took 15 minutes. I felt bad. Him and Jane came in, and I didn't want to interrupt their before a talk show. And he was so fucking good. Jermaine's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm watching him do dialogue that he just got, and how he makes it a real life. I was stunned by how good he was. So I put it together. And Kelsey helped me a lot with the because she's had an editing background, and she watched it and she goes, "The De Niro thing you might want to do blah blah blah," and that became the final cut. But there were so many nice moments I wanted to leave in. Like De Niro's just improving. He's going, "Jim, you have to go out and do it. I'm doing this because I like you," and I wanted to leave that in, but it wasn't needed. I just wanted people to know they like me.
Yeah, you just like that soundbite.
Yeah, it didn't work. So that was the story behind it. And,
God damn, man.
And people liked it, and I left the. If you notice, you listen to the audio, it's slightly boomish, like it's in a theater, because the audio we left in the final cut, it wasn't laughs put over it. It was exactly how it played in the theater.
This is the board audio.
It was which was great quality, but it sounds like Ricky's talking in a movie theater.
Yeah.
But that was why we left it like that, because I wanted it to be the pure reaction of the audience.
And I like that you started like the thing starts not with just the intro, but it starts with the theater seeing
quick
the
cut
intro.
in,
Yeah.
because I wanted people to know that this was real. It was not being dubbed over, and this is what a theater audience is seeing.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's cool.
The thought I put into my special was, "Don't wear a shirt."
That was a good idea.
That's cool too.
That
though.
really, Jim. I don't know. I just tweeted and put it on my Facebook, but I don't know the proper way to say it because your stand up is fucking awesome.
Thank
but
you.
I want to say to everyone, just sit and start this, and you'll be blown the fuck away.
I was pretty pissed that it wasn't the main thing on Netflix. I went on Netflix.
It will be. It will be.
You know why they didn't? And they're great. They even told us, they're like, "Look, at first, it's not just going to pop up. People have to search it a little bit. It's just the way their system works. It's okay." Again, I'm in between Amy and Chappelle, and they're both bigger names than I am. So I'm not being fake
Wait,
modest.
Chappelle's special's out?
No, it's coming out next week. So it's like that's the one they're probably gearing up for. So the fact that this one
Isn't
is
that
doing
amazing?
well.
Amy Schumer comes out, Jim Norton comes out, Dave Chappelle comes out. That's the Netflix schedule.
That's a threesome I want to be in.
that's okay. That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is really weird.
No, I meant comedic. I mean, talent-wise. You know what I'm talking about.
No, we didn't.
No.
Like,
We
you want
only
to be
thought-
sandwiched in between those two. That's whenever all the eyes are showing up to Netflix.
I would watch them fuck, but I don't know about you being in it.
Thank you to all the people who've been saying nice things. I've been on Twitter lately checking because I wasn't sure what the response would be, but I really appreciate it, man. I mean, this is like one of the most important, it's the biggest thing for me that I've probably ever done. And thank you. Just I really appreciate what you're saying. It means a lot.
That
You look good, dude. You're not fat.
Thank you. No,
You're
I
all
felt
in
good in
shape.
that one. Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
a good shirt on. Your shoes match.
Thank you. Yeah, that felt
The
good.
Yeezys.
And the act went good. I was happy with the material. Oh,
Yeah,
everyone
and
thinks
and it looks good. It's shot well. Like, it looks good. I noticed that explains why Justin and Eric Stangl are on the thank yous in the credits.
And they're spelled wrong.
Is it?
Kenny, of course, you spelled them wrong. And I also, by the way, Matt Serra, my UFC Unfiltered, I spelled his name was Serra.
Yeah.
But he won't care.
No, he won't.
Matt's a good guy. He'll probably be like, I didn't even notice. He won't even know it's spelled wrong. He's a good
Yeah.
dude.
And I really appreciate you putting me in there.
Of course.
Is there Travis? You back in New York?
Yep.
Did you get a chance to watch the special?
Yeah, my name's spelled wrong too.
I don't know. I saw it.
I just realized I'm pretty offended you didn't thank me. I mean,
No.
maybe I'll do an hour on what a piece of shit you are for not thanking me.
You were on a separate. You were on a.
You got to acknowledge Ellis helps you, and you
I mean,
should.
you're in my studio.
Believe me, if I knew you were
promoting your Netflix.
if I knew you were going to be the channel boss, you bet I would have.
If I knew you were going to be the channel boss.
You didn't know that?
Thank you.
I'll have you fired too, bro.
Yeah. Thank
Travis,
you
did I
mean a
mess your
lot.
name up? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
spelled,
I-
and I figured after 12 years you would know how my last name's spelled, but whatever.
Travis, I watched the special and I went through the credits and everything, and I didn't see a spelling error.
No?
What was spelled wrong?
My entire last name.
It was spelled Kaufman.
No, spelled dog.
What- he actually thanked Travis Dog.
So happy that happened. That's one of my favorite things that this special is your name fucked up at the end.
We started calling Travis Dog.
It's really
because it's the worst nickname
ever.
Yeah.
Oh, just to be called dog?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's not Trav Dog. It's Travis Dog.
Yeah, it's a terrible nickname.
It's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it's different. Like
Yeah.
Trav Dog would be. Oh God.
But Travis Dog.
I think he's like his family's really the dogs when you say it like that.
And it's
Yeah, he
cool
really
because it's
hates
got
it.
2 G's.
I didn't realize
His
that
dad's
Travis
a bounty
Dog had
hunter.
2 G's. Yeah.
Oh, even better.
You want to hear what an idiot I am? When I did my special, they asked me who I wanted to thank, and like an idiot, I thought it would be like we used to do on CDs. It would be on the liner notes. I didn't realize it would never come out on DVD. I thought it would just be on the inside of the DVD.
Right.
So I wrote personal ones, not realizing they'd come out and put anyone's name. I wrote, to Georgia, Leanne, and Isla.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being a patient family. And then I wrote for Tom Segura for being so much fatter than me. And I didn't realize it would come up on the screen. And I
So you wrote your messages.
I wrote
to
messages to people. I thought it was the liner notes. That's what we used to do when we used to do CDs.
Yes.
You'd write a liner note.
They had time to read it. It wasn't a half a second flash on a screen.
You wrote little yearbook quotes for everybody.
Stay golden, Rogan. I think I thanked Rogan. Like, I would never have thanked Rogan publicly. Like, that just seems so suck-uppy. But I like, Joe, you really mean a lot to me.
Privately, you're like, yeah, all right.
Privately, in a liner note, but not on TV.
On the television credits. Travis, were you? Are you happy though that has kind of? I mean, we spent all this time talking about how this, I think, pretty much inarguably is going to be the biggest special of Norton's career, and he's had some big ones already. That you are now cemented as the Travis Dog because of this.
Yeah, I think it's great.
It is.
Hands up in the air for TD.
He was already saying that when he went to Norton's taping, that he was just so annoyed because he was with his wife and she had to sit there as a whole bunch of fans barked at him while he found his seat.
Oh, that gives me such pleasure.
Yeah. But I mean, if you haven't seen this opening, if you haven't seen the whole special, I don't know what you're waiting for. You got to see it.
I was happy with the way the whole thing came out, and the
Yeah.
feedback was really, really good on it. And
was there any part of you? I mean, I don't think you should have been, but that was sitting there like, I know how good this intro is. I really hope that the material is as good as I think it is, because now
I felt pretty, because I had been running the set for so long. I felt like the important thing to do would just be make the right choices in the edit. What do I want to leave in? What do I not want to leave in?
Yeah.
And when the way the sets went, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted.
2 shows.
2 shows, splice them together.
Where at?
Skirball in New York. And I had wanted to do it after the election, and I did have a trumpet, but I've said this before, I tripped on the punchline. I said I tripped on the punchline, and it got the laugh, but when I watched, because otherwise I just would have resaid the word. But when watching it, it just looks sloppy and clumsy. And to be honest, by this point, I've been so fucking sick of hearing about Trump that I didn't mind losing it. But taking out that punchline, it really emasculated the bit, and I was like, I'll do it
cut the whole
smarter.
bit.
Yeah, I could still do it on the road and make it a better bit, and maybe do it if I tape something else next year. He'll be here for 4 years. It didn't serve the special, so I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I was really happy with it, and everybody's been fucking really. Thank you to all the people who helped me promote it too.
Yeah.
Like I've really had some great friends out here help me. Even like the LA radio, like. Thank you to Kevin and Bean and all the podcasts I've been doing, and fucking oh god, I forgot the names. Frosty and
Heidi, Frosty, and Frank.
yeah, those guys are really nice.
those
Thank you
guys.
guys to them guys too, and I'm doing Corolla and Rogan. Just everybody's helped me, man. Thank you so much. It means
That's
really
awesome.
it means a lot when you have something that is personal that you want to push.
My chick laughed a lot, and she hates the world.
Oh, thanks, man.
says a
Thank
lot.
you.
I was watching it. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching Jim's special." It's like, why? I'm like, because he told me that he had a special, so I'm just checking it out.
Why?
No, because she just usually if it's late night after stuff, she wants to watch like one thing with her, and if I don't watch it if I watch something for myself, it's kind of like I don't really need you to be involved in my evening stuff,
Right.
And then it went from the kitchen to she sat down to she was completely involved and she was completely laughing and she liked it, and all of a sudden it became like we're watching some fucking zombie Walking Dead shit.
Yeah.
Like 5 years too late for it, but we watch it together. We have to watch it together.
That's
next
your
to each
program.
other.
Sure.
Yeah. So she was laughing a lot. And
Thank you,
that
man.
became I already knew you were good. I wasn't really surprised by that.
That feels good,
It was
though.
funny to listen to her laugh a lot when it's usually, oh, this is some Jason shit.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sit here and tolerate it.
Yeah.
But she really liked it.
Thank you, man. I'm really appreciative. I feel great. Now I feel great now that it's out. And people who have left reviews, thank you. It does help when you leave like the ratings and the reviews. So I appreciate you guys doing that.
I look at that. I look at specials and I'll see how many stars it's gotten.
Yeah.
And because like if I know even if I know the person, sometimes if it's low stars, I go, I don't want to see that side of them. You know, like
Right.
like I already think they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't
It's
need
just
to.
you know, some specials. Some people aren't meant to do specials every fucking 18 months. They're just not.
Yeah.
Do one every 10 years and be great. And then some people are. You know, but for the most part, I'll flip through the stars.
You don't think he'll do another one?
I would love to. I mean, I'm not ready, of course, at this point. But I mean,
No, but you're totally. It's not like you're going to die next week or anything.
no, I would love to do it. I mean, I would love to do it with them.
Oh,
or,
if you die next week, this special will be huge.
I know.
Oh, it'd be massive.
It would be
that.
good.
And it'd be good. Like I'd find a new co-host, and it'd be great for the show.
This interview will go fucking so viral.
Yeah.
I predicted it.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call, Ellis.
That's true. Yeah, Alice, the boss, will find me a new co-host, and then it would be great for the show.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it's something you've been thinking
It
about,
would be a
don't.
natural fit if I slid into Jim's seat.
Would you think that would work?
You'd move the kid and the wife out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, Jim, but this really works out good for my career.
For all of us, really, and there's kind of more of us than you right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Coming
You have
off
to
a
wear no
little
shirt every
selfish.
time you come on, though.
Hey, I'll do raffle, machine story, no shirt, kill beers, whatever you need me
Yeah,
to
it's
do.
gonna be our bit. The 9:30 machine story. Every day at 9:30, Bert tells the machine story.
Maybe Jim should stay alive. This is sad and bad.
I can't believe we kept the secret for 5 months.
I know.
That's when it first got shot. From the time we showed it, I can't believe it's been kept secret.
Who'd you
Yeah.
tell? You gotta tell. You
No
tell.
one.
Not one person.
No one.
I know.
You told
told
Sam, right?
I
Yeah.
told Sam only when the Tonight Show clip aired, because I told the staff because I didn't want them to tweet out De Niro mentioning me in the Tonight Show. That was the only reason I told them, and it was right before we shot, or I would never would have told them.
Good call not telling me.
I told no one. No
Realize
one.
how quickly I could have spread that rumor.
I'll just say he's doing an intro and we'll just call him Robert. So
Yeah.
he meets De Niro and oh my god, I shouldn't have said his last name.
Yeah, I didn't tell Kenny. I didn't tell fucking anybody.
I guess that's a. I mean, I go to AA and there's people in there that I'm like, man, I have a radio show. I could tell. Just even if I just said I know them, it would make me feel so cool.
Oh yeah, because it's Hollywood AA.
Yeah, it's the megaest jerk off room the most famous people I've ever seen in my life.
But you can't talk about any of it.
No, it's Fight Club.
I went to
right.
one AA meeting, and I there was too many famous people. I was like, I can't be here.
Well, luckily you were able to curb the
it,
problem
yeah.
on your own.
Sure.
Yeah.
Look, the reason
And I'm sure that's what sent you. Too many celebrities here.
Nothing to do with the sober celebrities that are in there.
the reason I left is that
Wait, you're gonna keep trying to pull this bullshit?
no, this is the truth. Is the guy I was with was a fixer. I shouldn't say
Oh
his
yeah.
name. What's his name? He's a fixer. So what he does, he gets hired by like famous studios to watch the celebrities to make sure they stay sober, so they keep their
To
insurance.
go on the road with
Right.
them and stuff like
Yeah.
that to keep them, and in a way, yeah, they kind of need it because you're on the road. You're thrown to the wolves, and people
Yeah.
just give you,
And he saw me when I was having an Asian pair, and I had a rough night, and Leanna dumped me, and I was just like,
How long ago was this?
This is 15 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So he just saw me and he was like, "What's up?" I was like, "I don't know, man. My fucking lifestyle is not working out for me." And he's like, "Maybe you should come to a meeting." And in my head, I'm very open. I'm a very vulnerable person, so I was like, I'll go to a fucking meeting. Why not? And he's like, yeah, we'll go. We'll meet up. We'll get Starbucks get Starbucks at the place, and then we'll walk across the street. I was about to tell the place where it is. I think that's fine though. And so I go to the meeting, and I'm seeing like celebrities, and I'm jazzed, and I'm like, oh, this is cool as shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you should definitely get up and say something today. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, say something like, I go, what do I say? He says, tell him you're an alcoholic. I go, I don't know if I'm just trying to get my shit together. I want to lose some weight. And he's like, no, tell him you're an alcoholic. But the draw of the stage got me so much that I was like, I should get up and do some time.
Because you're an alcoholic.
And so I'm getting ready, and I'm getting nerves. I'm like getting butterflies, like
because you don't know if you're gonna perform well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's.
And the guy before me stands up, and his hair is a mess, and his clothes are a mess. He's like, oh, I've had a really bad day. This morning I sucked my landlord's dick and lit his car on fire. And I was like, I can't follow that. And so I didn't stand up.
That's a meeting I want to go to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like,
to make you feel better.
I can't top this guy. What am I going to say? My chick topped me, and I had an Asian pear that gave me heartburn.
Well, you should have said, I feel pretty good. Some guy blew me but burned my car. I gotta piss desperately.
All right. Well, you go to the bathroom, Jim.
Yes.
And we're gonna stick around here. Jason Ellis is sticking around.
Yeah.
Bert, any plugs?
Bert Kreischer.
No, but I'm thinking about getting just like subtle transplants.
Are you getting?
No, I wish. I'm going
Do you
so
see the
bald right
wig
now.
thing that you can glue on?
No.
Yeah, and you can use it in the water. You can swim with it.
Ooh.
I'm getting it. It's
Are you?
1,500. What is the money called in England?
Pounds?
Yeah,
Euros?
It's 1,500 pounds.
Oh, it's an E-Rock.
Fucking euro.
Sorry.
Yeah, I do.
Didn't work for us anymore.
Omaha Funny Bone, the 31st and 1st of April, and then Wise Guys, Salt Lake City. And
What?
then I'm on tour the whole fucking year.
That's very exciting. And
May 31st, I have Amsterdam, and I'm doing a bunch of dates in Norway.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, I don't even know if people hear it there, but they're asking me to plug it. Tickets are on sale this Friday. The Borgata, I think it's August 7th. It's a Saturday. Tickets are on sale this Friday for 2 shows on a Saturday at the Borgata.
that's early to go on sale, right?
Yeah, but I think that they're anticipating it will do well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping it will do well. It's always been a great place for me. So if you want to check me out in the Borgata, tickets are on sale Friday.
Oh, that's going to blow
I have
the
to
fuck
piss.
up.
And again, yeah, go piss. Mouthful of Shame is on Netflix now. If it doesn't pop up on the front page, just search Jim Norton or Mouthful
You
of
only
Shame.
have to get J.I. in and it comes up.
There it is. Put
Okay,
it in
cool.
J.I. and you'll find Mouthful of Shame, and then you can click it, put the 5-star review on it, and it'll be up on the front page in no time, I'm
I
sure.
hope so.
Yeah.
I hope
Cool,
so.
man. We will be right back after this. Hey, welcome back.
Thanks.
Not you. Well, I guess, no, not you.
I'll peck all.
We're live in LA. It's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Bert Kreischer's here. Jason Ellis is here. What a party. What a party. We because we're obviously on LA time, so we've had to start the show at 5 a.m., which means we have to leave the hotel about 4:30.
Yep.
And we had the same cab driver driving here this morning as we did on Monday morning.
Cab, not an Uber.
No.
Fuck is with you guys.
There's a cab right outside the hotel.
Oh, okay. That's
And the
your fault.
Uber was like, it took forever on Monday, so we just got the cab, and then today we were like, let's go meet our friend. But if you remember on Monday we were talking about it, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and the cab driver's just starting his day.
Yeah.
So he's exhausted. Did the cab smell like weed this morning too?
No, it smelled like cigarettes. Like he obviously smokes in the cab. He's just an old guy. He wheezes. He's not in good shape.
But he met on Monday. We told you he had met Chip. Chip Chipperson started talking to him at 4 o'clock in the morning.
You
which
can
is,
chip at 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
Impressive.
It's before 4:15. I'm still like just groggy and whatever, and I'm getting
It's a good way to wake up, though, with Chip, you don't think?
texts from Chip.
Oh,
asking,
wow.
like,
You fucking text us, Chip?
How do you text this chip?
this is what I got. Okay, I'll tell you. I think it was 4:13 a.m. and I got a text that said, "Tuss, hey cousin," spelled C-U-Z-I-N.
His cousin Brucey says that.
4:13 a.m. Tuss, hey cousin.
Yeah, you put a T and a bunch of S's. Well, Jesus Christ, fat wad.
And then
What the fuck?
that's a lot of cash. Bert, are you bragging?
What are you, like $2,000 here? $3,000?
Yeah, it's t-shirt sales, whatever. The machine. I'll tell it later.
And then Chip texts, what time we jazzing over?
By the
And
way,
I'm like, I don't even know how to respond to these texts at this early in the morning. Like, what do you? I'll see you in 10 minutes. Like, what do you want from me? You know, I don't want to play this game right now.
Here's a little tease for the radio show tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, I will play some of the cab audio with Chip.
oh, you have it?
He
little
recorded
bit.
him again. So like
constantly working. I appreciate that.
on Monday, the cab driver was already pissed because he didn't like Chip because it was 4 o'clock in the morning. He's exhausted.
Oh.
Today, we start walking over to the cab, and through the windshield, we can see the guy go. He puts his hands up.
Oh, he's bummed that he has to talk to Chip.
He's visibly pissed that we're getting into his cab again.
He was auditory. I don't know if it's on the tape, but he was going, "Oh God!"
So he gets in.
He really hates Chip.
Oh, he hates him.
What kind of questions are Chip?
Well,
is Chip
Just
asking?
nonsense.
Immediately, Chip is like, "What's up, man?" And the guy's like, "Oh God."
He doesn't want to have a conversation
No,
with Chip.
he's tired.
He's muttering to himself the whole time. Chip's asking the same questions he asked on Monday. The questions are, which he remembers answering. Do you think there's going to be any traffic this morning? It's 4:30.
Yeah, there's no traffic.
And he just doesn't even. This time he just goes. He's just grumbling the whole time.
Wait, he
God.
didn't answer.
No, he didn't answer. And then Chip declared.
Why didn't you step in and say, "What the fuck's your problem"?
He was right not to answer.
I know, but Stu, the customer's always right. Is there going to be traffic? Answer me.
Because I sat there going, Chip, you know there's not going to be traffic.
Oh, you're answering for Grumblebum.
For Grumblebum. I'm on Grumblebum's side at this point.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
not
take
fair.
I don't take Chip's side. Because Chip, you could take his side all you want. He's not going to deliver what you want. Like you take his side, and he will come back with something that is still against whatever you're
be
doing.
in the mix. I mean, it's 4 a.m. You're bored shitless. All you want to do is smoke a cigarette and die. Have a conversation with Creepy over here.
Then Creepy started saying, "Tss, we're up before the motherfucking birds come up."
This is embarrassing. I was embarrassed when Chip has talked about it. It's humiliating.
No way, man. I don't tell Tully to start acting like somebody else whenever I hang out. Nobody I know ever fucking has an alter ego that they just hold in a taxi. That make my life so much more entertaining.
It just happens. And the whole time, like, he says something, the guy doesn't respond, he grumbles a little bit, and then Chip just goes, "Tss, oh, pickles."
I couldn't believe the guy was actually going, "Oh God,
He was
oh
so-
God."
Can I tell you my
so
Can I tell you my
mad.
branding right now? This is where my brain goes on how to make money off Chip.
Okay.
For $5,000,
Yeah.
you can invite Chip to a wedding as your date and watch him interact with people who have no idea who he is for the entire night.
I was thinking about being a prostitute last night.
Like for sex?
Yeah, just I accidentally bought my son a bike, and it kind of like broke the bank a little bit, and kind of broke for like a month or two.
Because of the bicycle?
Motorcycle.
I think it's a motorcycle,
Cost-
Sam.
Well, his son's, how old's your son?
8.
8-year-olds ride motorcycles?
Been riding for 4 years.
4-year-olds ride motorcycles?
As
Yeah.
a born from Australians, yeah.
Third
Yes,
bike.
so.
But I'm a bit tapped out, and I got a wedding coming up, and all this. You know, I don't want to get into it. I'm fine. Everything will be all right. But right now, it's a little bit embarrassing because I do pretty good, but I'm completely tapped out. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Why
I'm
didn't you not-
taking my daughter to a birthday dinner tonight, and I'm like, fuck. Usually she should be whatever she wants for dinner, and my ex is coming, and when my ex comes, I probably want to spend even more money because like you
Yeah,
missed
you want to
out.
show you're doing how great you are.
I make more money than you fucked up, and even though you take half of it, I still am shining. So I'm like, fuck, man. I wonder if I could just have sex for money, quick.
I'm sure you could.
And then I thought, and then my fiance was like, I could probably have sex for money and faster than you. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, you're attractive.
not a competition.
So there's that. Well, it kind of turned into one. And then I thought about, I can't do it because
How much is a?
But I
How
really
much did you
thought-
want to make?
like $2,000.
Well, how much?
Oh my God!
Is that how much an 8-year-old's motorcycle costs?
Oh no, his bike was like 5,000 or something.
That's too much money. He's going to be bigger soon, and then he won't be able to ride his motorcycle.
He gets another one.
Jim Norton joke.
Sell
Jesus.
it. You sell it.
Oh.
$2,000. What do I get to keep your head?
Oh yeah, it's an all one.
No, I figured if I did it a
$3,000
couple of times, you know.
Yeah, I think you could, because we talked about before that you were very popular in the gay community for a
Yeah,
period
gay
of time.
guys really want to do me.
Right. So if you allow them to for a fee, I don't
That's
see
what
why
I'm saying.
that wouldn't
Like, what
work
about
out.
like not so like kind of really ugly gay guys that can't do me. Because, I mean, a lot of guys... I mean, I was in the steam room last night and there was a lot of gay guys that wanted to do me, but instead of... I just sort of shine them off. But I could have said, yeah, man, if you give me a couple $100, I'll probably let you blow me.
Well, I'll tell you one thing you got to stop doing is giving that dick away for free to all these guys.
That is
my
true.
problem.
But
You've done
throwing
it-
it around like a party favor.
That's my problem.
Yeah, you can't get, because if the gay community finds out that they can suck your dick for free, which in the past they have,
Yeah.
then that's be like, why would I pay for this if it's free?
Yeah, well, I didn't come up with this idea until last night. And not if I had to come up with that idea in the steam room in the afternoon, then I probably would have said, no, first give me $500.
That would have been a terrible move because no one has money in the steam room.
Yeah, no
There's no one has
pockets. Good point.
yeah.
Right.
Well, we could have gone to a locker and they could have given it to me.
Well, how much for full-on anal penetration?
Well, that's what I figured it would come down to for a lot of money.
How about they wanted to bareback you?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about for like $700?
No.
$700. Fucking raise your standards, Sam.
Well, I'm just saying that's
Getting
righteous
fucked in the ass
Yeah.
by a dude. $700.
How
You
much
can do
for
a
a
lot with
Well, he's
getting
talking
your-
about a gay guy. He's not talking about it's not like I'm being fucking raped for $700.
Yeah.
He's talking about,
Let me tell you something. You fuck me in
making
the ass,
love.
you're raping me, whether or not.
yeah, but
I'm-
you're a straight guy.
Yeah.
Right.
how
Yeah,
much
I'm
for
not.
a bareback rogering?
Yeah, this is something. This is something that Jason might do in his spare time, regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't understand that, Bert, because you are closed-minded. While I don't necessarily do all the same things as Jason, I'm an open-minded person. I get it. You know?
No.
Well, that's because you're
I don't
closed-minded.
know. You're just saying that because you're young and you think you have to be liberal. You don't have an opinion. So you could see yourself like having sex with a dude?
Look, Jason and I have
Answer the
spoken, and we
fucking
both agree.
question.
Sexuality is fluid. Okay?
My sexuality is fluid, but that means I cry at the time traveler's wife. Doesn't
Well, that's probably worse.
no shit.
Like,
That's
I
actually
think
gayer.
it is.
I think you crying at the time traveler's
gayer.
wife is gayer than Jason having sex with guys.
If I open
agree.
that
Don't you?
door, if I open the door to fucking dudes,
Right.
I may never.
You're saying
go
it in a
back.
way where it's kind of offensive.
Good for you, Jason.
Thank
Good
you.
for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good for you.
I mean, fucking dudes.
You're shaming him.
Yeah.
Don't shame Jason.
I'm not shaming. I'm just saying.
Yes, you are. I feel a little bit shamed.
Yeah.
Jason,
I mean, what about, will you get fuck a girl in her vagina?
See, that makes that sound.
Okay,
good.
Man, you
okay,
fucking
okay.
a girl,
That's
you
not
fucking
cool.
a chick, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. I apologize for being offensive.
Thank you.
I'm afraid that if I make love to a man,
Right. Okay. This is better.
That's way better.
This is better.
I feel very flattered now.
Good. Good.
and I found it semi-enjoyable,
Right.
I would never have a reason to fuck pussy anymore.
That's not true.
Well, see,
Dude, I'm not in it for the conversation with women. I'm
Bert,
only in it for the.
I think you
sluts.
might be.
See, that's
gay.
barbaric.
Like
You
that-
might get
that- that-
addicted to the snugness of a man's ass. That velvet-like grip.
Bert, it means you're a closeted homosexual if the reason you want to have sex with guys is you think it might be too awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
It's called homo. I'm not homophobic. I'm a homochondriac.
What the?
I don't care about you being gay. I'm afraid one
you-
night I'll get drunk and get tricked into it, and I'll like it.
You want to have sex with guys because you think it'll be great.
Yeah.
No,
That means you're
It's the same-
gay.
No, it's the same reason guys don't look at gay porn. Straight guys don't primarily look at gay porn because they're afraid they're gonna look at it and their
That's
dick's
not
gonna go.
true.
That's 100% true.
Yeah, you're afraid that like hairy
You are.
velvety glove is gonna milk your cock.
I'm not gonna fucking in this room. I am a sheep with a bunch of wolves. There's no way I'm gonna convince you.
Jason one day was like, "Oh, I don't want to suck anyone's dick because it might be kind of cool," and then he was like, "Wait a minute, I should probably suck someone's dick." Right?
Yeah, sure. That's
Right.
kind of how it went. Yeah.
Exactly. That's
how it starts,
it goes.
Cool. Yeah. Cool.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts.
Yeah.
It's a house of cards.
What about a lady with like extra parts?
No, I have a friend. I had a friend that used to be really into that.
You still do.
Yeah, you actually got a couple. You'd be surprised how many of those friends you got. You're kind of surrounded by them, actually.
Right. And I'm open-minded.
He can't even look at either one of us now.
He doesn't know what
This
to
is
do.
awesome.
I
He
can't
doesn't
even
know what to do.
I can't even watch blowjob porn because I go, what am I into? Am I just into?
Bert, you're gay.
No.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what?
This is the
You
most.
are.
Exactly. All the zucchinis are going missing. Bert, where's our yams?
Yeah. Bert, do you want a pickle on the side? No.
Cut it up first, or I might sit on it.
Yeah. I want a peach.
Is it hard for you to eat a hot dog? It is now.
Yeah, give me no clams. Only clams. No hot dogs. No.
Tacos.
You want tacos?
No.
Bert, like you're gay. You get that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
right? Like you're going to get there.
You're gayer than me and Jim combined.
Definitely.
Yeah, you want 2 coconuts with a nice kielbasa on it.
You think Bert's looking for a willy?
Yeah, I think Bert's looking for a kielbasa fat willy.
That's why he drinks so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Running
that
from the
makes
gay.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Shut off reality for a little while.
Plus, those shot glasses have just the right girth. They feel so good.
Yeah. Let me. You know what? I can't. Let me take a sleeping pill because otherwise these dreams kick in, and those are thoughts I don't want.
I've definitely had a gay dream.
Sure, yeah.
What happened in the gay dream?
I've never told you that. I've definitely had a gay dream.
You have a gay? Who you, Martin Luther Queen?
No.
Yeah, this is a gay dream.
I have a gay dream.
Anyway, Homo, what did you do in your dream?
Yeah. What happened in the gay dream?
Hi, Bert.
Bert, it's okay. Tell us.
Were you
Yeah.
a top or a bottom?
No, it was.
He was he was on cleanup duty. He wasn't on either.
No, the dream was I was in an elevator with Elvis, and we were
Presley
Yeah.
or Duran?
Elvis Presley.
Oh, okay.
And we were eating pills, and he went flipper on me, just like. So I grab his body,
Yeah.
and then I carry him out of the elevator. It's him in the white outfit. I go up to the front desk and I say, "What room is Elvis in?" They're like 111. So I take him down the hallway, kind of prop his body up on the door jamb, take his key out, open the door, and I see 5 dudes butt fucking.
Oh
They're
no!
making love.
No, they can buff up.
Then all of a sudden
Right.
you're playing the cracker while the Memphis Mafia stands over you, jerking you off.
So what'd you do?
And they're all throwing up in Burger King cups and throwing up just. Wow. So I shut the door.
Right.
I look at
Burger
Elvis.
King cups, though.
I go, "Hey, what the fuck is going on in your room?" And he just wakes wide awake and he goes, "It's your dream, baby." And I wake up and I'm like, "Motherfucker." First gay dream I ever had.
Is this
not
a
even
recurring
gay
dream?
No, it's just one.
That's
one
not a
dream.
gay dream.
Yeah.
Watching dudes butt fuck? Yeah. Well, yeah.
No.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
It's symbolic of something else. It's show business.
Must have
That's
sex
what it
with
is.
Elvis.
Oh, it's not. So you have to be.
Show business is like a bunch of dudes fucking each other in the ass throwing up.
That's
Right.
right.
That's the game that you're in.
That's
Right.
right.
Product placement.
It's about being things being transient, in and out, in the ass, out the mouth. That's how showbiz is. In the ass, out the mouth.
Yep.
You have it one day, it's gone the
Right,
next.
right.
That's how
Okay.
it is. Now, if
There you
it's
go.
going in the mouth and out the ass, you're queer.
All right, next dream. I'm making love to a chick.
Okay, you said I definitely had a gay dream. Now, you've definitely had multiple gay dreams.
No, that wasn't a gay dream.
Yes.
So now we're safe.
Next gay
Yes.
dream.
Oh, I
Next
see.
gay dream.
What gay dreams may come. Go ahead.
I
Fucking a girl.
Yep, fucking a girl.
And then you started booing her pussy. No, I was just guessing.
And then I feel a finger in my ass.
Uh-oh.
Turn around.
Yeah,
and
it's Elvis.
No, it's my high school baseball coach.
Edward
Yeah.
Scissorhands.
boy.
Just finger in my ass.
That's
And I
not
was-
gay.
That's not gay?
Scissors
Yeah.
hands.
Okay, so wait, what's a gay dream then? Maybe
Jim
I've never
just
had a
said
gay
Edward
dream.
Scissors hands.
Edward penis
What's the
fingers.
what's the gay dream to want to be on Broadway?
So wait, are you really sexually fluid, Sam?
No. I mean, I like
Well, that's
girls,
the hate
but
that.
I'm.
Like, could you find yourself falling in love with a man?
Oh,
No.
yeah, he could.
You think so?
Of
No.
course.
Could you imagine wanting to kiss a man?
Yes, he could.
No.
Of course
Have
he
you
could.
ever watched a gay porn?
No.
Yes, yeah.
That was too hesitant.
Yeah, no, yeah, yes.
Yeah, you stole. For sure you have.
I've seen a gay jerk off porn before.
Sure.
Not gay like anal sex
hasn't?
porn, but gay jerk off porn.
Wait, you've never seen gay anal sex on video?
No, because I've seen the meat spin. And there's a dick
What's
in the
meat
ass.
spin?
What's meat spin?
Yeah.
It's meatspin.com. It's like the greatest website ever.
Right, so you've seen gay guys fuck.
Yeah, I guess there's gay guys fucking on meatspin. Yeah.
I love how you're pandering around this. I've definitely seen a gay porn.
There
And
you go.
Well, I'm not pandering. I'm just saying, like, it's
You
not.
kind of are.
You're
I mean,
pussyfooting.
you're like,
Yeah.
I've seen a gay guy jerk off video. No,
Right.
dude, you've seen a gay guy do everything, haven't you?
Well, I've seen meat spin. I haven't watched.
Have you
I haven't watched
seen
a
gay
gay
guys
porn.
fuck?
I've seen. There's a dick in a gay guy's ass.
Have you
on
ever
meat spin.
seen that
Why did-
noise a guy makes when he has a dick all the way in his mouth and he can't talk, so he goes, You ever seen that on video?
I guess I missed that one. No,
Are you up for dinner after this?
I haven't seen that film, unfortunately.
Eh.
when I first started touring with Jay Moore, he came into my hotel room and bought a gay porn as a gag, thinking that'll go on your bill. Haha, that's on your bill. And it started immediately. There was no fucking storyline. And we watched this Filipino dude suck this dude's dick, and we didn't speak for like 5 fucking minutes. We were like, holy
Because you were both hard.
No, that's why we turned it off, because we were like, I'm not getting hard watching this. Dude, watching a dude suck a man's dick is pretty impressive. Like it's watching an old Italian woman.
I would say they're better at it most of the time.
Men are better at sucking dicks than women?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. My wife said to me the other day, she goes, there's this doctor in LA called Dr. Squirts, who girls go to, and he makes them, he does this
Dude, that's such bullshit.
No, she says there.
Yeah,
she
so
goes,
what? Make him piss.
Anyway, she says there's Dr. Squirts. Her friend went to it. She goes, "Is that cheating?" And I go, "Fuck yes.
Yeah, it is."
I go, "Fuck yeah." She goes, "But what if there was a woman who gave like the world's most amazing hand job?"
It's cheating.
I go, first of all, that's impossible. You know how much work she would have had to put in to be better than me? Like,
Right.
I've been doing it since I was 10.
Yeah,
Right.
not
How
true
did she
either.
get her training?
Right.
You don't think that's true?
Oh,
Who gives better hand jobs, men or women?
I mean, on average, to me, the best blowjob
In your
and the best hand job is the person that wants to do it the most. And guys are fucking way hornier.
They are.
I mean, every now and then you get a girl that's like super horny and just wants to suck it or jerk it off, and then she's really good at it. I mean, every now and then there's someone that's really into it and just isn't your type. But I'd say on average, because a guy wants it more.
In your experience, men crave dick more than women do. Women
But you
are
know
more
what?
emotional.
I don't know what it's like to be a really, really hot and have all the women in the world want to have sex with me. But I do know what it's like to be really hot and to have all the men in the world want to have sex with me. and they want it a lot.
Right.
They're really into it. They worship it. And I feel like that goes a long way. Maybe it's something to do with being insecure or something. But
There's a psychological advantage. Yeah, you want to be worshipped, right?
yeah. Sure. I've always, that's the first thing that happened when I started hanging out like that stuff. I'm like, oh, wow, this is what it's like to be super hot.
Right.
The difference is, okay, imagine, this is a stretch of an analogy. Imagine if you had to run through the forest to your house, from one side of the forest to the other, but you knew the path. That's men being with men. And then as a man running through the forest and not knowing the path, that's what it's like to have sex with a woman and to be into it, but you don't know what you're doing sometimes. You're really into it, and then sometimes they're like, ow, that hurts. And you're like, oh, I just thought of the faster and harder I did it. Does that make sense?
No,
What's he talking about?
That should be on worstanalogies.com.
What are you talking about?
It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Anyway.
I'm lost in the woods running, I guess.
I mean, it sounded like you were saying the most natural path is for you to be
Two
with a
men,
man.
yes.
Don't you clump me into this, Straighty. You're in this. You're on my team.
I don't agree with that.
Just so you know, if they decide to take us, I'm going for you.
Wait, take you?
Yeah, this is how gays work. They fucking jump on you.
Don't you think Bert would do well in the gay community? He's like a bear.
He'd be a big hit.
He would be a
Power
big
bear.
hit, wouldn't he?
All guys do good in the gay community.
That is true.
Every guy does
Yeah,
well.
Stephen Hawking's a 6 in that community.
He has sex with women. What the fuck?
I got offered to do a bear magazine when I was doing Bert the Conqueror. And this couple reached out to me in San Francisco, and they're like, me and my partner are very big fans of your show. We run a bear publication. We would love to do a profile on you. And in my head, the way I look at media, I go, that's what celebrities do. Like Ben Affleck's on the cover of Out magazine. I go, fuck yeah. What I'll do is
It all goes back to Ben Affleck.
I'll do this shoot, and then it'll come out. Who can say that this was bad? Everyone's going to say he's being pro LBGT.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And then Travel Channel found out about it and lost their shit. And they're like, you cannot do gay pornos. And I was like, oh, I never thought it through. I totally would have gotten naked, regretted the photo shoot, just been like, hey.
Yeah.
You would have thought posing naked in a bear magazine is the same as like being on Out whatever magazine.
I didn't never
Yeah,
look
hold a silver tray with condoms on it and just cover your penis with your hand.
Yeah, but Bert, you understand, like I don't watch gay porn because there's nothing in it for me. There's no
Yeah.
selling factor to
Yeah.
it. You don't watch gay porn because you think it's going to be the best thing ever, and that you'll never be able to stop watching it.
You
not
can
why I-
get hard to gay porn. By yourself, you can watch gay porn and jerk off.
You could finish to gay porn.
Yeah.
No.
You could
Yeah.
definitely
You
come
do. You're
watching
saying
gay porn.
no, like
Bert,
you're trying
you
to
could-
convince yourself.
Yeah, he could come to the part when the men are kissing, and when they're kissing like such men, that one's got his hand locked on the back of the other one's neck.
He
Yeah.
likes that?
Like that's the man to man.
Yeah, they do that.
When two men are kissing,
they
and one
do that.
Good strong
locks
grip.
the hand.
Oh, like an arm
I hate
wrestling
that.
contest? Like over the top? Just
Yeah.
Yeah, two men hand locked in the
They
back
put
of the
that
neck.
powder on their hand.
That's the confusing not gay thing that I have.
Then they switch their hand and move the head down.
No. It's two men locked in an embrace. That's only men can do.
Yeah.
tongue kissing.
Yeah, it looks like it's rashy and sore. Like they got stubble on each other's faces. It doesn't look like that much fun.
You don't like man kissing.
No, not at all.
Right.
And
That's
then
not
that
for you.
sounds. See, now I sound like Bert, but I'm not into that.
Right. It's just not your thing.
Look in the steam room yesterday because I go to the steam room, I get real hard, and then I go in the freezing cold water thing, and I sit in there for 15 minutes
Sure.
to try and heal shit. And the gay guys get all weird and try to do stuff. Every now and then I'm like, yeah, sure, I don't care. If, you can blow me as long as you look like you might be okay. But even
You can always tell by looks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's got no source.
Oh, yeah. And then some guy was like rubbing my shoulder. I was like, yeah, it's a bit weird. Like, I don't fucking know you, dude. And then he like touched the back of my head and I slapped him. Not in the face, but I slapped him. Like,
Don't
I
do
don't
that.
know you.
Right.
Don't grab my fucking head.
That's intimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a weird thing. And I don't want to. It's always been weird when a guy wants to make out with me. I can't do that.
Do you think Bert Kreischer...
I make out with trannies, though.
Well, yeah, that's a little different, right?
I think I really saw some of the transgender girls that I know have like softer faces and lips than girls.
Really?
Yeah, because they use so many different products and stuff. They're like really mushy and soft.
Do you think Jay Moore and Bert Kreischer could have climaxed together watching the gay porn? That's why they turned it off?
I've met Jay before. I think Jay's a pretty horny guy. I don't think he likes me. I think I offended him somehow. I do that to people. Not so much these days, but I did do something.
Right.
His girl reminds me of somebody that would be... She seems very sex orientated, and he seems super over the top into sex, which tells me that transgender is like... to me, transgender is like...
Just next level.
it's like an extra trick on top of pussy.
Right.
Because they can do all these other things.
Like, I don't like ice cream. I like sundaes.
With a banana in it.
Yeah, I like a banana split.
they really do have a banana in it.
That's the gay alarm.
Stay here. You don't have to go home.
It went up in your own head.
You don't have to go home. You can't stay here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Show over?
Yeah.
That's how you end your fucking show?
That's the 60-second warning.
60
Jesus.
seconds. We have to wrap it up. Jason Ellis, of course, is next, and thank you for letting us use your studio.
Yeah,
Bert.
Thanks
man.
for letting me on your show.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Bert Kreischer,
Be a
you
lot
have
of
what
fun.
date coming up?
You'll be sucking dicks at.
Yeah.
In Omaha, Wise Guys, Stand Up Huntsville, The Crowfoot in Detroit.
And if you're a man and you proposition Bert Kreischer for sex on the road, he'll just run away because he can't say no.
No.
He wants to avoid it because he knows how much I like it.
If you're gay and you can corner him, it's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah.
Someone give me a flannel shirt.
And I'll be sucking dicks at the Borgata August 5th. Tickets on sale Friday, and also over in Amsterdam, Norway, and a bunch of places. Tickets are also on sale Friday. I tweeted the one to Amsterdam, but there's other places I'm going to.
And don't forget to stream Jim Norton's special Mouthful of Shame on Netflix now and rate it 5 stars.
I would appreciate it if you like it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you all for joining us. We'll be back live in New York tomorrow.
Big Applin'.
Thank you, everybody.